I think we're quite clear though, and we can all agree that the 4 relegation candidates are Forest and the 3 coming up. I think it'll be a battle between them, between who comes up. I think all of them have a chance except for Ipswich. So I don't.
I will guarantee Ipswich stay up.
You can't back on just a manager, Mohammed. They didn't even sign a player. They're going in with the championship squad.
If Ipswich doesn't stay up, I will shave my head. I am that confident.
Yanks of the Roundtable. Man, it feels good to say it. I feel like it's been a hiatus for who knows what now, weeks, while we watch the Euros play out, Copa America, the Olympics, all of the international footy being played this summer has come to an end, which means it's Christmas in August, lads. We have Premier League on the agenda for this coming weekend, the start of the 24-25 Premier League season, which means Yanks of the Roundtable is back, and as you can see, in full form. All right, we have seven creators on the show today to predict how we feel the Premier League for this coming season will play out, and we're going to do it a little bit differently than we did it last season. Last season, we actually predicted from 20 to 1, where we saw every individual team being placed on the table. This time around, we got more than a few different categories that we're going to kind of use to predict how we feel like the season will play out. Everything from top 6 to relegated 3 to individual awards mixed in between. We're not going to waste too much time here. Let's jump right into it. But before we do, I have a great cast and crew, as you can see on your screen. We got Austin Forbes. Welcome in, bro. We got Barca Boy 103, Max C Gaming, AJ from Atlanta United Fan TV, Mohammed from First Touch Media, and last but not least, Davi from the Blue Burrows Pod. A bunch of North Americans here just to, again, predict ball from the Premier League perspective, man. I'm super pumped for it. Let's jump right in. We're going to waste any more time. We have the big 6, the top 6, I should say, in the Premier League that we're going to predict first. We're going to start with this because I think it's going to be the longest segment of the show today. So, again, if you're looking for hot takes in this summer heat that we're all experiencing, look no further. Look no further. Yanks of the Roundtable. Let's jump in, boys. All right. 6th place. Let's get right to it. I have a hot take, but I'm going to save mine. I kind of want to start with our resident hot take expert, Barca Boy 103. Hafid, bro, talk to me. Who you got in 6th place, and then we'll see where the rest of the crew stands.
All right. In 6th place in the Premier League, I have Aston Villa. So that's, I think, a 2-point drop off from their 4th place finish. I think they're still a good side. They made great summer signings as well. But I think last season they got 4th mainly due to the teams around them not performing. Newcastle, big injury issues. Tottenham just doing what they do best and choking it in key moments. Maybe their schedule being congested at the end with top games playing effect. But I think they only got top 4 by 2 points. So did they make signings enough for me to close that gap? I don't think so. I think with other teams improving, I think they'll definitely be in contention for 4th place. I don't think they'll get higher than that, but I think they'll finish around 4th and 6th. So I have them just on 6th for reputation based on them overachieving from last season.
Bro, I have someone different entirely. Actually, I have Villa falling out of the top 6 in my opinion.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do.
Me too.
I do too.
It's not ridiculous to say that.
It's not ridiculous because I'll say
No, it's not
I'll
ridiculous.
explain why I had them. We all know what happened with Newcastle last year when they entered the Champions League, and
I will say this though, with Newcastle quickly, it did have a lot to do with injuries.
it did. But injuries are also part of the game, and
Games game.
I don't think it's always hard to balance for especially new players that enter Champions League to balance multiple competitions. And being in the Premier League, they are part of 4 competitions. It is very difficult. So I had them probably like around 7th, 8th, just missing out on European spot. But
let's also not forget that it's a brand new Champions League format this year.
Brand new Champions League format. Pretty much, I think almost everybody's. It's the first time playing a Champions League, maybe besides. I think it's almost everyone's probably first Champions League.
In that side, yeah.
On that side,
maybe Paul Torres, the center back.
Maybe Paul Torres, but
but there's not that much experience.
But
even
there's
with
not
those
that much
who played,
experience.
there's not that many seasons progressing.
Yeah.
To defend my point quickly, I think Unai Emery will pull a little bit of a prime Wenger in the mid 2000s, where he's going to be targeting top 4. Then they want stability. They want the Champions League entries week in, week out, rather than progressing in the Champions League or maybe dropping down to the Europa League. I think their squad is significantly better to what Newcastle had going into the start of last season as well. Not only did they made good signings, they made good signings that are going to be able to start in their team, which means that the starters will be dropping to the bench and providing that competition. So I think their squad is also very good. Again, I expected to sign another forward by the end of this window as well. Who that will be, I think will be a determining factor as well. But I think Unai Emery will be prioritizing more so a top 4 push. Again, I don't think they're going to get there, but I think they're going to be prioritizing that more than, a miracle Champions League run or a cup run.
Yeah, I think it's also going to depend on Ollie Watkins a little bit and whether or not he can recreate the form that we all saw last season. And granted, something that I didn't realize before, doing the kind of research for this episode, Ollie Watkins doesn't get injured hardly ever. Right. So I think when I was thinking about, okay, well, injuries aren't going to be a huge scare in my opinion. There's probably going to be an outlier here or there. But and even with his production, I just don't think it's what did he have last season? It wasn't almost 30 goals and assists combined.
It was like 20 goals, 10 assists. He definitely broke 20 and broke 10 for a season.
32 goals, tied with Haaland, only behind Cole Palmer with 33.
Yeah, and it still came down to the final 2 weeks of the season between them and Spurs to get top 4. So I don't know, bro. It's going to be very, very difficult to replicate that, which means I agree with Hoffman. They'll probably find another striker to just kind of give them a little more competition, give themselves a little more oomph in the attack. But I don't know, bro. I
think six is my expectation. If they finish 5th or 4th, that's above, they've overachieved in my opinion if they get to that top 5.
I will also say Douglas Luiz is going to be a big miss, and Onana's going to have to step up. But that's a big price tag for Onana. And what if he doesn't step up? Who's
you have Buendia, who's coming back from injury. I know he's kind of mid and he's been out for a year.
We're not hyping up Buendia.
I'm not. Listen. I'm talking straight profile because again, like Max mentioned, Onana's going to come in to replace Douglas Luiz. You have now Kamara, who's going to drop off to the bench. Remember Jose, you talked about him a lot last season, how important he was. Yeah. So he's probably going to be in that competition now. He kind of falls into that Douglas Luiz position. So I think them finishing 6th is mainly due to Monchi's work in the market. They've acquired great players for good prices as well. And again, they're not quite done yet. And I think if they just get that extra forward they need for the sale of Diaby, they'll be in contention. I think a top 4 finish would be miraculous. I think 5th, 6th, 7th is kind of like their area.
Yeah. I had him 7 to be fair. It really is not a crazy shot to say 6. Did anybody have another hot take for 6? That's just kind of off the wall.
I had Manchester United at 6.
Ooh, interesting.
Not that hot.
I'll one up you. I have Man United in 7th. They don't even make top.
That is crazy.
That is kind of crazy. That is kind of wild. Actually, that's a little insane.
I'm just not inspired by their team.
I seen someone predict that they're going to finish 8 again. I'm just thinking, what are these?
There's no way.
I'm like, listen. With the United. Last season, again, there's 3 teams last season that got destroyed by injuries. Man United, Newcastle, those are the 2 main ones that just got destroyed. If they just stay semi-fit, they're going to do better than they did than last season. When they get top 4, that's going to be their objective. They, of course, invested very well.
Lenny Yoro's already out. The new signing.
Yeah, but they just signed the lit.
Luke Shaw's out again, by the way, too.
That's
crazy. It happens every year, man. It's I don't
it's normal.
I don't even think, to be honest, we were barely planning to use Luke Shaw at the beginning of the season, knowing already he was barely playing this summer at the Euros and coming back into form. I don't think it was any question that he may be fit by the beginning of the season. So to him already having a setback is not a big surprise, to be honest.
So who plays left back then? Who starts?
Lissandro played in the Community Shield.
It's not going to be Lissandro. It's probably going to be
Malacia, right?
No, Malacia's
still alive.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't seen a picture of Malacia in a year.
Oh, I've seen. There's been more pictures. There's more.
What happened to him?
There's been more pictures.
Amrabat deadline signing as left back.
Yeah, no, it's probably Diogo's probably gonna play right back, and then Mazur's probably gonna play.
Yeah,
left
you have
back.
Mazzarri. That's a great point. Again,
and
I think there's summer.
And then we have Amas, our new youngster. So
yeah,
it'll be okay for now.
Keep in mind. We'll dive into United. I have a feeling that look, Mohamed's pick is and Davi's pick are probably outliers. I think here. I think most of us probably have them a little bit higher. Austin, who do you have? I'm kind of curious.
I'm not gonna lie. I had United 8th, and then I bumped them up 1 spot.
It's okay. You're gonna hate my city prediction. So,
Austin, who are you thinking?
We might have I had United 4th, but I think. I mean,
but in 6th, who'd you have in 6th?
Who'd you have in 6th?
Chelsea.
Ooh.
Oh my God!
I did too.
You done it again, man.
I did too.
And
the only reason why I have Chelsea. The reason why I had Chelsea 6th is because I made it. Well, we kind of almost all made a mistake last season. I had them so far.
I remember.
Back.
Austin, didn't you overshot Chelsea last season a lot? Didn't you have them top 4? There was someone in our panel last year who had them top 4.
I had them,
Andre had them top 4, and
I think I had them 4th.
Yeah, y'all are crazy, man. Crazy.
I don't know, but
they nearly came back and almost finished 4th though, which was the craziest thing. They
had a great last third of the season. I will say that to me, it felt very. This is kind of crazy to say. It felt very Crystal Palace-esque. You know what I mean? Like they're just riding the fucking wave. You know what I mean? And I just don't know if with a new manager they could do it again.
Exactly. That came a lot down to Pochettino finally pulled his head out of his arse and got some sort of stability in the final 10 games, and that's why we saw results. He put this strong, consistent lineup. They had some of their players back fit, like Enzo, Caicedo, who weren't fit for the majority of the season. But I guess we'll talk about Chelsea later on if people have them.
Yeah.
But
AJ, who do you have? AJ, who do you have? I'm curious.
I'd ask the Villa, but yeah, I mean, you know, the Chelsea bit, I think it's like, I mean, it's very interesting because I think they might be, I think, with what the predictions are from you guys, it might be the underperforming team, in my opinion, if everyone's rates them so high. But yeah, it's one of those, Aston Villa, it's just with Unai Emery, like, he's going to prioritize one competition. It's just how he does it. It's like,
exactly. I think also the signings have been so strong as well. If they made like kind of mediocre signings, I wouldn't be backing it too much, but they already had a good squad. They made some good signings as well. So.
Yeah, I think it'll depend also like what group they get in certain competition, especially the Champions League, right? Like, who they're gonna, like Newcastle got absolutely shafted when it came to like the group stage, right? Getting the group of death the way they did, you compile the interest on top of that. I think there's comparisons there, but Newcastle had a pretty bad situation last season. Villa might slightly outperform them, but I still think they're not going to fall in the top 6. I don't know.
I think Villa,
in my opinion, I think how last season ended with between 5, 6, 7, 8 is all going to be
all gambles, all on who performs at the right time, injuries. Yeah.
So who hasn't real off their 6th pick? Like before I go,
I think Mohammed is the last one.
Mohammed, who do you have?
I said Manchester United.
He said Manchester United.
Oh, that's right, United. Davi, who'd you have in 6th?
Chelsea.
Okay,
so
guys.
2 Chelsea, 2 Villa. That's
yeah. I'm the outlier here. Then I have West Ham finishing 6th.
That's not ridiculous. That's
I thought it was kind of a hot take, but these signings to me have been phenomenal.
They finished ninth. They finished like 16 points off top 4. So are those signs enough to close a 16-point gap?
If we cherry pick just last season's results, sure. But this is a team that, as recently as like what was it, a few seasons ago, they had back-to-back 6th place finishes. Lopetegui, who I felt like his time with Wolves and just how experienced he really is. Not a bad manager to go after, has Premier League experience. But bro,
not great
crew
experience.
Yeah, he didn't coach that.
Experience though.
Experience. Bro,
Europa League with Sevilla. I think during COVID though.
Trust me, experience is experience for sure. But look,
this guy was the best Real Madrid manager in the past 10 years.
I know, my go. I still remember that 5-1.
The signings, bro, full crew.
They made great signings. I will say
for me, full crew makes more sense for someone like West Ham as opposed to what you're doing.
They're backing Lopetegui at the West Ham board. Yeah. So they mean this is what you want to see in an institution, right? Bring in a manager that you want and then back them. I think with Lopetegui, the issue is that the track record in the Prem isn't the greatest, and apart from a COVID Europa League with Sevilla, and again, Sevilla are like the masters of the Europa League, he's had very much a mid. Managerial, tendency.
You could say similar things to an extent. I know it's kind of not a direct comparison, but you say similar things about David Moyes to an extent. Like he's had ups and downs. In some situations, he feels like he's not qualified to manage here, and then he turns it around in one miraculous season.
What having West Ham is not ridiculous. They're in West Ham, Newcastle, Villa. They're in their own league between 4th and 8th place. They're gonna rock it out. So if you had them anywhere,
Somerville getting Max Kilman from Wolves as their captain. They signed Guido after he was supposed to go to Barcelona, which I wasn't a fan of that signing anyway, but I think he makes more sense for West Ham. At Todibo at center back. I don't know, man. I tell you all about it. Those, man. Are great signings for West Ham.
It's all right.
I think Matt did Georgie for Todibo like the past 3 prediction window.
That's massive for Barca because they get $8 million out of that deal.
Oh hell yeah! But don't get it till next year though, which kind of sucks. But I'll take it.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
$8 million is $8 million.
I know. Cash money.
You guys can use all the money you can get.
Hey.
Anyway, we're fucking move on from that. Look, all right, guys.
That's for the points that are wasted on Burger King.
6th place was a hell of it, dude. We had West Ham, Chelsea shouts, Aston Villa shouts, United
but Chelsea
shouts.
and Villa come out on top of the majority.
Yeah, let us know in the comments down below if you were kind of siding with any one of those one-off teams that we just reeled off. Let's go on to 5th place. I'll start with mine. We'll kind of work our way backwards from there. This is where I had Manchester United, and this was super difficult for me because for me 5 and 4 are very interchangeable in my list. Like, in all honesty, bro, I didn't even fill in. They were the last 2 spots that I filled in my top 6 were 4 and 5. It was just super, super difficult. But the reasons why, in my opinion, outside, I don't even count too much where they finished in 8th last season. So many injuries. We don't have to talk about all those points again. We mentioned it a lot on this channel already. But I think it's a lot of fans have raved about the signings. I'll be honest. I'm not super impressed. I think they raised the floor for United pretty well. I don't think they raised the ceiling. right? I think that we'll see progression from where United finished in 8th place. There's no way they finish 7th or 8th again, in my opinion. But I don't think they push so hard as to finish for top 4. Biggest reasons why is the two biggest ones, Mazraoui and De Ligt. I don't know what to expect from these players, bro. I don't. Mazraoui, on average, over the last 5 seasons, what has he missed? On average, was it 18 games? No. On average per season over the last 5 seasons, 18 games a season. That's wild.
He's the biggest gamble out of all their signings for sure.
Yeah, it's the biggest gamble, and it's supposed to be a crucial position. We just talked about it, right? If Mazraoui goes down, who starts at left back? Beyond that, De Ligt flopped at Juve. He went to Bayern, was the highest earner in that back line, got dethroned by Kim Min-jae. And they went out to Stuttgart to sign another.
Hold on.
Say what you want, but bro, he hasn't been so impressive for Bayern. He really hasn't.
No.
This is the worst Bayern team in 10 years, and he got benched. That's all.
De Ligt did not flop at Juventus. He was in line to be the next captain after Bonucci left. The issue with Juventus is they were kind of like Barcelona, broke as a mother effer. That's why they sold him. Why Bayern Munich sold him is what you said. His high salary wasn't really performing. He wasn't crap. Wasn't great. I don't know if you've seen this or not. There was a huge campaign around beginning of July of all the Bayern Munich fans saying they wanted to let
they
stay.
Want to
they
keep
wanted
him.
To let
He was the best center back.
They felt like he was good enough, just needed more time to grow.
He got dethroned in the Dutch back line by Yuri and Timber. It's just like it's these things time and time again where it's like I think we all consider De Ligt to be a top center back, but if he was
he's not a top center back. I think he's a good center back that just needs time and trust. And he'll grow. He got that Juventus again. They sold him for money. He didn't get that at Bayern Munich because again, Bayern Munich, to be fair, they chopped and changed managers about 4 times since he's been there as well.
I just think he's a question mark. That's all I'm going to say. I hear what you guys are saying. I'm not saying he's a terrible.
Sure
I would take him at Barca. Like 100%. I really would. I'm just saying like with the question mark of not knowing what to expect.
I think the reason why I jumped in was you said he flopped at both clubs, where I think he didn't. I think it was more so to do with the situation.
I think he flopped at Juve, in my opinion. Bayern, I think it's
no way.
You can call it however you want. All I'm saying is with the salary he was making, if the performance
they made money on De Ligt. Remember they bought him for 70 from Ajax. They sold him 75.
If the performances matched the salary, right? If the performances were through and through, and he was legitimately earning that paycheck that he was getting, they wouldn't be a reason to sell him. They knew what they were going to pay him when they signed him, right? So it's not like all of a sudden he just doesn't make sense for the books and we got to get him out of here. It's like if the performances justified it, they find a way to keep him. I firmly believe that, especially with top clubs.
It's a big name, not a big performance type of player so far in his career.
Yeah, I think
he's moved for big money. But yeah,
his best days were at Ajax, if we're being honest. Like Ajax was the best version of De Ligt that we've seen up to this point.
And guess what? Who is his manager at Ajax?
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair. I'll say this.
But this is in the Premier League.
Dude, it's okay, imagine being so down bad that you have to recreate the best version of a team you've ever coached in your life to save your job.
Max, I tweeted that Ten Hag had pull, and then Jose replied, like, he's just recruiting Ajax. I'm like, you know what? He is.
It is.
And is that not a red flag? Is that not a red flag?
No,
He really just resorted to recruiting his 2019
Listen,
team.
The issue is, Max, it's like he's getting these good players for good money. Of course, apart from overpay for Anthony, which again, it was last second. It is what it is.
Not his fault. Not his fault.
He is. They are signing these players for relatively good prices, and they're at a point in their career where they're kind of like in limbo, performing well, kind of not performing well. The club's kind of like taking a gamble. Mazraoui has been the only one I think that's been very, very poor.
That's the only. I never, to be honest, I didn't really.
Because he joined Bayern free.
Bro, hit up Galatasaray and get Hakim Ziyech back to United, bro. Fuck it. Let's say we run it back. 2019. Get Tadic from Ajax. Get
Elisha Showdown from retirement. Run it back.
Run it back, bro. 100%. I mean,
David Austin is still somewhere.
50 mil for De Jong. 50 mil for De Jong, and he's yours.
Nah, I need my money back. I need 70 minimum.
Ain't nobody paying for Frank.
Nobody's paying 70 for De Jong.
Not with that salary.
It's the salary is kind of wild for De Jong. But all I'm saying is, like, again, and I have my own feelings about Ten Hag. But with that said, United will progress. I just don't think it will be all the way into top 4.
Let me jump in with my 5th pick here.
Yeah.
This is the one that I'm most uncomfortable with. I picked Spurs simply on just vibes. I just think that they're better.
It's like the
vibes.
It's either they're gonna get
Spurs vibe. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not Spurs
it's just because I think they're a bit better than the rest, and by the rest I mean Villa, West Ham, Newcastle over the course of a season. But I feel like they're nowhere near good enough, especially with their recruitment this summer, to push for top 4. So I kind of reluctantly put them in 5th. I think again, Solanke signing for me. I'm very much. I've been on this on Twitter about Solanke, Dovbyk. I'm not a fan of it whatsoever. Sometimes they come off well, but 9% of the time they don't. So then sloshing 70, which by the way is a record transfer this summer. The most expensive player this summer.
Is Solanke still not a better option for Spurs though than what they have? Like, should we not see an improvement up front?
He is, but for the price and what else they could have got on the market, that's where I have the issue. And the reason why Bournemouth sold him for over the asking price because he had, one Premier League season, that's my issue. I think the player coming in, it's a good option for Tottenham. Again, apart from that, they've done nothing. They spent 19 million on Archie Gray, which not 19-year-old, but they spent 50 million euros for him. You guys tell me Frankie de Jong's not worth 70. Get in the bin. And they're basically banking on Draguskin, the striker, the center back they brought in January, to kind of be a new signing as well. So they've not really done much. I think they're more so going to be banking on the edge system, Madison being fit for a whole season, Christian Romero not getting too many red cards. So I feel like they had the core. They brought in a good striker. They have, of course, Lucas Becquerel that they brought in January as well. So I think they're kind of in the same area. So that's why I put them fifth.
Who's someone different outside of United Spurs?
Who'd you have? Max.
I had
Newcastle ain't bad.
United.
Who said Newcastle?
Mohammed said Newcastle.
Yeah, I said Newcastle.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
Newcastle fifth?
we have no
Newcastle
Europe
fifth.
at all, just Premier League. But everyone's healthy.
Have Newcastle signed anyone?
So Tonali's back as well. That's gonna
Tonali's
be
a new
massive.
signing, basically.
Yep.
His gambling problems are over.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
What's
fans,
up,
yeah,
gambler?
Hey, you cannot say that.
This man said it with his, so like he knows the agent. Like, trust me, bro, they're over.
Wait, Mohammed, apart from Tonali, has Newcastle actually signed anyone at all?
No, we haven't signed anybody.
No,
But
they might lose Miggy.
Do you know the legend of Michael Jordan? Mohammed?
I'm telling you right now. I think Newcastle, if they can keep certain players healthy, is my thing. They'll have a shot. They'll have a shot at top 5, top 4, maybe.
They kept their two big players. They kept Isaac and Guimaraes, which, by the way, I predicted.
Yeah.
So,
and people forget about Gordon, right? Like, I think Gordon should take a step up, hopefully.
Harvey Barnes maybe being healthy.
We might be losing Alma,
right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Miggy might be gone.
He's going to the clip.
Maybe
if he goes to Charlotte, I'm gonna lose my mind. That's all I'm saying on that.
Miggy ain't a big miss though.
But every now and then,
but it's more
he pops up in games. Like he kind of has that.
If Callum Wilson can stay fit as well.
Yeah, and he raises that floor for Newcastle. So.
Yeah, we also have Joelinton, Harvey Barnes back.
Yeah, again, it'll be a question of staying healthy this season. I think everyone realizes
Pope is back too, right?
Yeah, Pope is back. Also, in Europe. So
Botman's also back. They kept Eddie Howe, who's a really good manager, and I've heard some people say, "Hey, this might be his last season before Newcastle take that big step and get that better manager than Eddie Howe." But
before Eddie Howe goes to England, no.
I don't know, but I've heard some people predict. Heard some people predict that this might be his last season here.
Yeah.
Wait, AJ, who'd you have in fifth?
I have Man U. Yeah, I mean it's just it's Ten Hag. I don't know if he can get out of his own way. Yeah, it's one of those things where he in some big games. Yes, he can show up a little bit and figure it out, but like largely, the roster is still too flawed. He doesn't know exactly what he wants to do with it, and the players can't perform to what he wants to do. And so, yeah, it's like you guys keep spending money, but it's just like, yeah, you're not getting the players that can actually probably do what Ten Hag wants to do, which is to play like front forward football, but he can't do that in the Prem. It's just he has to play more pragmatic than he has to.
I can see the point you're trying to make, but then again, this is the first summer where they've actually not only spent well, but spent early. Very similar to what Arsenal did after I have to quote this, I'm sorry, the banter era, where they kind of straight into the market, signed players last second. Then they had that switch where they signed, Xhaka early, Lacazette, getting players in. I feel like now United are doing that. And again, this summer, 60 million for Euro, very, very high for 1 year left on his deal. Xerxes falls into that, by the way. He falls into that Solanke Dobic category for me. I think he'll flop beyond belief. But the Lit and Mazzawari are good signs. And again, they're not done yet. I expected to get a midfielder. And then after that, it's kind of like the gamble. But this will be the season that will be testing a lot for United because Ten Hag is not only getting the players he wants, he's getting them in early. Again, they kind of missed preseason, but I mean, before the Premier League kicks off. So that's as early as you can get. I feel like this is kind of his tailing moment, so to speak. And big games.
There's going to be a lot of pressure on him. If we're being honest, there's going to be a lot of pressure. Because keep in mind,
games
right?
wise, I don't even think United have done that well in big games over the past year or so. I don't think
they have, bro. Yeah, every time they play City, they're one of the few teams that take it to them every single time.
Exactly.
Take it to them, but they still lose.
Every game against Arsenal has been very close. Whether it's at the Emirates or Old Trafford,
but they still lose.
We beaten City. We beat City. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about just and not last season, but season before. He beat
in the season
Arsenal.
before.
Is it the away record then? Is it the away against top six where he's just not?
And they won FA Cup, so it's
like they've won trophies. It's a combination of injuries, and I just think Ten Hag not knowing maybe the what he can do optimistically with this pool of talent that he has. But I will say this. I think this season is different because I really thought Ineos was going to fire Ten Hag in the offseason. They didn't. And I only think they did it because nobody said yes.
They couldn't find anyone better. Yeah.
Nobody said yes. And so it's like, all right,
there's nobody better.
1 year extension. Cool. Let's see what you can do. But I do think like the seat is already starting the season hot. And if he starts off this year the way he started the last 2 seasons in a row, where you stumble, kind of getting out of the gate, you lose to, I don't know who you guys are playing the first 4 matches or so,
Fulham.
but
Fulham's on Friday.
Yeah, Fulham's on Friday. If Fulham come out swinging in that one and United lose the opening match, there's already going to be even more pressure on Ten Hag. It's just going to be like I said, the first couple months are going to be very, very pressure filled for that manager.
If you're not going to be successful, it's in that first couple months. They have to start off strong. They got to be in top 4 by just before these Christmas.
Isn't that how they got top 4 like a few seasons ago when like Rashford was cooking and it was like 10 Hag's
exactly. Yeah.
I think it was also that purple patch like that Rashford had, right? It was like that crazy run of like 2 or 3 months run of form.
And Rashford very much, by the way, a bouncy player. He'll have one good season, one crap. He just had a crap one, so
I was about to say that. I was about to say, he's very inconsistent.
Austin, who'd you have fit?
Ajax. I mean,
I'm about to say what?
So there's 2 Tottenhams.
3 United
and 3 United. So it's again, I think that's kind of like the niche. So we're kind of in the right.
We're all moving here. We're all moving. All right, guys. Top four. And I'll kick this one off against. I think it's contentious, and I actually hate making the fucking pick, but I think it's going to be Spurs.
Oh no!
Me too.
I agree. I agree with you.
They signed Solanke for 70 million. Great,
but bro, they had Richarlison before that. You just have to put the price tag aside. He's just a level up to what they have. He just is.
But even though he had one good season, listen. Solanke, I believe, I'm not mistaken, was from the Chelsea academy, made the move to Liverpool. Liverpool then miraculously, I think this is one of the best match class I've seen in my life. Sold him to Bournemouth for 30 million euros.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And then Bournemouth just gone and done a double and sold him for 60 Great British pounds, which is like 70 million euros. I don't know if he's a part of money laundering or what, but he had one decent season. He wasn't
but listen, that one decent season trumps Richarlison's entire spell at Spurs.
It did not trump Richarlison's time at Everton though.
Fine, fair enough, but we're not talking about that, right? Like the current striker pool that they have, Solanke's a level up. Like he just is
Solanke. Okay, let's take away prices then. Is Solanke as the one only signing for their starting lineup good enough to bring them from 5th to 4th? Again, the points was 2 points from 4th. They did have a very, very difficult run. I don't know if you guys remember when we did the video of the last 10 games. They were getting cooked. The last 10 games. I think the schedule really finessed them. So is that enough? With other teams improving as well?
I think they can. They just have to stay healthy. They just
they can. I'm not denying they can.
Remember the first 2.5 months of the season, bro. We were getting invincible shouts. We were getting championship shouts. They're gonna win.
Whoever's top of the table in October, they always do that. I remember when United did it as well.
Weren't they also undefeated? Like they were
7 games undefeated.
Yeah.
That would have been so funny.
And they were looking good.
That would have been so funny if Harry Kane left Tottenham. They win a trophy. He goes to Bayern and they get fuck all. That would have been so funny.
Yeah, it really would have been. But here's what I'll say to pull that pick back just a little bit. My only concern is in order for them to get top 4, Ange has to mature as a manager and his tactics specifically. Like this whole we play a high line no matter what. If you want to actually win something, that shit can't work. It doesn't work. Like you need to actually be somewhat pragmatic and tailor your game plan to your opponent. If he can do that this season and level up his side that way, bro, I think they're going to be making every one of those Arsenal games, those City games, those Liverpool games very close. Like it will be contentious.
And NLDs are always fire, no matter when both teams are crap.
But even the other sides, right? Competing with all the other big 6, I think that they'll take a step up if they can level up their tactics and be a little more mature about how they approach those one-off big games.
I will say this: if they signed one other good player, or back in the midfield, I think they would have had a hell of a shout. But just signing a young talent from Leeds for, again, a buckload of money and a striker who had one good season doesn't really bode me too well with confidence. Again, there's still time in the window left.
I mean, they finished 5th. I don't think that
I'm
not saying they finished 4th. I'm not saying they finished. I'm not saying they win. They finished 4th.
Yeah.
I think they leveled.
I'm not saying it's outrageous. I'm not saying it's outrageous either. Just for me, they haven't gave me that little to say
I just don't think they're good at all. Like the midfield. Like is really bad. Like Madison
found out this year.
Madison and Bentancur not playing a whole season. Basuma does not play more than a week well. Their high line is gonna like if
they have one of the best center backs in the league though. So
Isak made him tumble and stuff. So I don't really know. Like their high line just gonna screw him every single game.
That's the thing, right, Mohammed? Will Ange switch it up this time? Will he kind of keep the same role model but not be too risky? Did he learn? that's because remember what happened with Pep after he won his first title as well. People were trying to find him out. Everyone started passing up for the back, thinking they're slick. But it's those smart managers that counteract that. Same with Arsenal as well. After their first good season when they pushed last season, Arteta did not keep it the same. He did some different tweaks as well. Playing Thomas Partey as an inverted right back for a bit because they know the team are going to study the ES from last season and they're going to get found out. So you got to adapt your game always. So if Ange does that, they can definitely have a shout. I'm not saying they don't have a shout, but
I think it's going to take them a minute. I don't think this is going to be the year for them. It's maybe next year. I just don't believe in that team. Like they have a winger that has no bag, gonna play, and just that team. I just don't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I'll let the hate flow for Spurs all fucking day. I'm just saying that, like, at the end of the day, if I had to put my bias aside, I could see a top 4 push. And towards the end of the season, when Hoff and I were going back and forth on like Villa versus Spurs, like I wanted so badly for Spurs not to even be in the running, and they took it all the way down to the end. So I think just if Ange levels up his tactics, they're gonna push, man. They really will. And there's no champion. Well, there's no Champions League to worry about for them this season. There's going to be Europe.
Europa League.
Europa Conference League.
Yeah. So, maybe, I don't know, maybe Ange prioritizes that a little bit. But I feel like if they stay healthy and level up tactics, it should work out.
That's also a good point as well, quickly. Just to jump in, when I talked about Unai Emery, I said that their goal is going to be pushing top 4. Tottenham's goal might be just be to win a damn trophy. So that might deteriorate from their top 4 push.
That's a big factor in that. Yeah, Tottenham, if they're going for Europa League, and that's probably if he was
Europa League, FA Cup, they'll take anything where they can lift their arms.
Probably for sure, but and probably League Cup probably is the easiest one for them to win, and they very well could. But it is that it's like that would take away from them in the league, and then so one of these other ones can pip them. And in my opinion, it's Newcastle because they don't have anything else to. Yeah, they should absolutely go for the league.
So you have Newcastle 4th then?
Newcastle 4th.
I had him 4th, but I just didn't. I dropped him for Tottenham.
It's a big jump for Newcastle.
It's a
big.
But everybody else has everything to play for.
But like Mohammed said, they didn't make any signing. They didn't make anything to like.
I want to throw out Newcastle had the 4th most goals last year, and it was only 6 points away from Spurs. Like.
It is not, like I said, it's not outrageous to have Newcastle 4th. I think that's probably their peak, though. Anyone has them in top 3, you just get on the
you're smoking something. Yeah, there's no fucking.
But when you're just banking on no Europe and your squad being fit, it's a big game. But just one side, if they get if they get Mark Gahey, whatever price they pay, Premier League task, that for me would say, okay, this is a good push. They'll be in the round 5th and 6th. I currently have them 7th, just behind Aston Villa and 6th. So if they get Guehi, I think that's a challenger to level up their team. If they go without no signing and sell Miguel Almiron onto Charlotte, then it's just like you're keeping the same team. You're gonna run it back. Yes, there's no Europe this time, but what happens if Harvey Barnes comes running down the wing and he just falls and he's out for 3 months?
Yeah, that's what I'm scared about.
Which very much will happen.
Bro fell on his toe and was out for 6 months. Crazy thing, man.
You haven't seen Ansu Fati got stepped on in training. He's out for a month and a half.
Bro, I was like, Hoffman, just sell the stocks, bro. Sell the stocks.
Officially sold.
It's over. The share price has plummeted. It's fucking over. Austin, who'd you have in 4th?
If you say Chelsea,
I had Spurs, but
Okay.
To someone's point, I will say the Europa League is technically easier this year because there's more teams in the Champions League.
Yeah.
So
again, and I will say this too, by the way, with Spurs as last thing. I made a big deal about Ten Hag having all the eyes on him with pressure. There is gonna be pressure on Ange. There was so much hype around that fucking manager last season. He has to level it up and get them to
there's more pressure on Tottenham getting 4th, not Ange performing. I think it's everyone a collective after the great season they had. I don't think it should be toned in on just Ange. It wasn't just his first season. I agree with you though. There is going to be pressure on the getting 4th, but I think a lot of Spurs fans saying you got to get 4th, But I think it's more collective,
Bro, I'm pretty sure the word aura came from like all the Ange hype. I'm pretty sure, bro. Like I'm only positive it came from all the Ange hype.
I thought it came from Avatar.
maybe, bro. I don't know, but I swear to God, I never saw the word get spammed on the timeline more than when referring to Ange.
There's a lot of hype around him.
Was trending for fucking ever, bro. Like I don't know. There's a lot of hype.
I'm not gonna jump around it. I think there is a lot of hype. Just quickly, I'll keep it really short. I had United 4th, getting the same reason why 5th, 4th, kind of the same thing. So
I had a hot take 4th, Chelsea.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Mom, but you just lost my respect, buddy.
Hey, if it makes you better, I have a cousin that supports Chelsea and he thinks he's gonna get 3rd.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Thank God he's on the show.
Yeah.
They're gonna end up 4th. There's no fucking way Chelsea gets 3rd, bro. That is so.
I will save my Chelsea take for later, but that Mohammed will come back.
They have a superstar player in Cole Palmer that can carry them to 4th place.
Yeah, carry them and the 50+ players they have on the roster, bro. I'll be honest.
Exactly. Man. Like they don't even know the best 11.
Cole Palmer had the season of his life, and they just barely got 6 after a good
every time I doubt Chelsea, They always do something. Last year, no one thought they're going to finish top 6.
They got more goals than they have fullbacks right now.
It honestly took them going on the run probably of their lives in a 2-month period for them to get that. And I don't know if I could just bank on that again. Like same thing with the Cole Palmer thing, like Hoppin said. Like him replicating those numbers, bro, unless he shoves every other player out of the way for every penalty kick ever. Yeah. Like, and even then, I don't even know if he gets it, right? Like, bro, I don't know.
I will say Chelsea, they have a good team. It's just now it just comes down to the manager to pick.
Yeah, can he figure it out?
Can he figure it out?
Can you pick 11 out of 50? Out of 50, you know,
exactly.
to like figure out who that 11.
I feel like they have their 11. They have
their 11. It's just a lot of egos that have to be managed, and if they can
Reece
manage
James
them,
is already injured again.
Yeah, Gusto.
Yeah.
He's
I mean, their midfield, as many players as they've brought in, is still a problem because who's going to actually defend and block their defense? Like no one. Like every one of their midfielders has an issue with, being able to be a two-way player. I think, and I think it's going to be good.
And the issue is with Enzo, his midfield is key. Mm-hmm. Everything runs through their midfield and their fullbacks.
Mm-hmm.
That's how everything runs. His fullbacks.
Enzo may not be counting on Enzo if we're being honest. I like Enzo,
but they're going to.
Yeah,
they have to.
Yeah,
he's the captain. He's the captain.
Exactly.
He's the captain now. Yeah. So, but just the sheer amount of money that got spent on him, like Mudryk is the only player I see that's worth $100 million. I guess in the moment of that transfer, that's going to be on the bench consistently. It's probably going to be.
He's probably going to get sold.
Bro. Low key, imagine Arsenal pull that finesse off. They find a way to get Mudryk for like fucking
20 million,
40 million, bro. Oh my god, that would be amazing.
That
would be the.
I was talking about Morales,
still not better than Pulisic though.
Yeah, still not better than Pulisic. Let's say that. Chelsea's kind of interesting pick. I think we got everybody in there, right? Anybody not go?
No,
I didn't go.
Oh, Max, who'd you get?
Liverpool.
Not ridiculous.
Oh,
I think Slot's a solid manager. I don't know if he has the personnel in the midfield to help him even push for top 3. The way he plays, from what I watched at Feyenoord, a lot of the creativity has to come through that midfield, and they do not have a lot of creativity in that midfield. They didn't sign anybody. He plays.
Is playing pivot.
Yeah, they play from the back. Virgil's probably the only one I think that could, at least from that side, that can play correctly from the back. And this is probably a good thing for more for Salah, and not hopefully, but if you're a Liverpool fan, for Nunez, for them getting in behind the defense, but them not having that midfield for creativity, because now, for example, if Curtis Jones now has to have his back away from the opponent's goal, he has to go into the midfield to collect the ball. Is he talented enough to pick out, Salah or Diaz? Or is this midfield good enough to run his system good, or good enough to get top 3? But I don't think so. I also may think they may even not get top 4, but I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt because I think this is Salah's last season in the Prem, and probably Virgil's last too. So I think as the collective, as a unit, this will, maybe have a push for top 4.
I'll say with Liverpool, I massively respect Liverpool, even with Klopp gone. I'm not gonna pretend I sat there and watched slot ball at Feyenoord for all of last season. I didn't, but I do know how he wants to play. I think when you have a spine of Virgil, who you'll say on his day, no matter what, top 3 defender. Trent on his day, no matter what, top 3 right back. On his day, right? McAllister in the middle of the field on his day, a very, very reliable and good center midfielder. And then you have Mo Salah up top on his day, a top winger in the Prem. So with that spine in place, I just don't expect a full reset with Liverpool. They might fall in the top 4. It really wouldn't surprise me a ton, but I kind of see them finishing, like where Max said, 4th, if not 3rd. I had them 3rd only because it was hard to predict between what slot ball is going to look like versus Ange ball in the second year. You could really kind of push and pull there, but I still think they have talented players. And are we not going to see Curtis Jones not be injured this season, actually play the full season? Is Harvey Elliott not going to step up? Are we not going to see hit another level, or Endo hit another level?
I would say Harvey Elliott or Curtis Jones has to take a massive step this season. Like one of them has to.
Maybe both, to be honest.
Or maybe both of them. I don't see that happening, for at least maybe not Harvey Elliott, because even though I know we talked about our top 10 youth players of last season, Harvey Elliott was top 10. Mm-hmm. From what I saw last season, was just not it from him. He was just not it. Curtis Jones, I'd see a little bit more of an upside, and I think this has to be a massive season for him. I think McAllister's going to be great. Endo's going to be Endo. Serviceable. But Curtis Jones has to step up.
I agree, bro. I agree. And I will say this. This takes us right into third place because that was the last one of fourth. I had Liverpool third for all the reasons that I just kind of mentioned. I think it's hard for me to discount a lot of their talent. Slot might find a way to get the best out of them. But the best out of them might be just fourth, if not third. So if I expect them to stay in top four, I don't expect a full reset. But if they do bounce out, bro, I mean, he might be on a path to being one of the first big managers sacked.
I
would think that's unfair. I would think that's unfair though, because they have not made a single signing. Like they just got rejected by Zubimendi.
One of the most epic fucking meltdowns by Liverpool fans on the timeline that I've ever seen.
Everyone's rejecting Liverpool left and right, which is hilarious.
You never know. Luis Diaz might dip out for Barcelona if Barcelona comes.
I heard City
keep it far away from
God. I hope not. I really
listen. I also had Liverpool third, and I think Jose and Max summed it up very quickly as a collective. And what my opinion is that I think they're going to get third mainly because of just player profile. I think if it was strictly on manager, I would have them fifth. I think them finishing fifth is not outrageous. If anyone had them fifth, I wouldn't have argued it whatsoever. To be honest, I have them third simply on player profile. Same. Although I do want to highlight that Virgil and Trent going into the final year of their deal will cause a ruckus because one bad performance and the media will be all over them, even though the English media isn't as harsh as the Spanish media, but the media will still be on them. But their squad, despite them not signing a midfielder, is still good enough. Again, the point difference from them and Aston Villa, third and fourth, was almost 14, 15 points. So I think with the new manager coming in, now of course bring that down, but that again, they have a bit of a barrier to keep it in there. I think top four for them is definitely on, should be the case. If they make one signing from now until the end that's at least semi-decent to improve their squad, they will be fine. But I think it's mainly going to come down to the players, experience in the Premier League ahead of Slot's brilliance. I think he's a good manager. I think he's more so of a manager for like a Villa, a West Ham, a Newcastle. I don't think he's at quite the level of Liverpool, but to be honest, Liverpool wanted Xabi Alonso, didn't want to come, so they kind of got the next best thing in their opinion. So I have them third simply on player profile.
Davi, who'd you have at third?
Liverpool. I'm wondering if Dominic Soboslai can take that next step under.
That's playing pivot in preseason, man. I'm gonna take the next step.
I mean, like it is what it is. You know what's crazy? You know how you need a pivot when your fucking starting defensive mid and Endo is publicly coming out in an interview saying we need a defensive mid. Like if your starting defensive mid is saying you need a defensive mid, you probably need to prioritize that shit in the window. I'm honestly surprised Liverpool hasn't made that move yet, despite the Zubimendi fiasco.
They still could.
Yeah.
They could.
They could. Or something. They're
gonna have to pay. They're gonna have to pay a pretty penny now.
And the issue with Liverpool, as we know, is that those owners don't want to spend money.
They don't. No. FSG doesn't spend that much. Austin, who'd you have?
Spend that money.
I had Liverpool, and really just because I think they're a little bit better than the rest. Like
who had somebody different than Liverpool?
Anfield Juice as well.
Max.
Yeah, Anfield Juice. Yeah. Oh God, Max. All right, here we go.
Max had them fourth. That's not that outrageous.
No, for third.
For third. Yeah, who'd you have for third?
He's gonna let's say
it's gonna be United, bro. It's gonna be United.
Manchester City.
Yep.
What? No fucking way, bro.
Right. Manchester City's decline starts this season. All right. They are not winning 5 in a row. It starts this season.
Are you betting that KDB leaves?
No, KDB's staying. But KDB's probably not going to be playing, though, because he's going to be hurt in like 2 months. So there's that. But anyway, I am putting all my cards on the table saying,
you know what's more crazy? It's not City third. It's this man has not set his club yet, and we're now talking.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. Yeah. So if he's going first, then this
Max, listen, you're my bro, but like the reality is, everyone's been predicting City's down. Drop.
You guys can always
since they did the double when they beat Liverpool the second time by 93, 92 points. Everyone's saying after that they're gonna drop off, and they just won.
Bro, if he gets this right, guys, in the comments, let us know. We revisit this video at the end of the season. If City gets third, bro, I'm sorry. Max got the ball knowledge extraordinaire title. Like, it's happening, bro. I don't know. Third place.
I will pass on the title happily if he gets the
I don't think if he get third, I was like, dude, that is insane.
But why? Why though? Yeah, like you can. Anybody can say.
To be completely honest, even last season, you can tell they weren't that great. Like they were great, but they weren't.
But they still won the league.
They're the machine. That's the thing. No, there wasn't any choking. No, absolutely, it was took it to the very absolute end.
And City last year finished with more points than the season before when they won the treble.
I'm aware of that.
Their last half season, was insane.
Was
what
insane.
they did.
Yeah.
So there is no choking from Arsenal when the machine does exactly what it's supposed to do.
There's no choking. Like that's not
there was games that Arsenal should have definitely never lost last season.
Fair, but that's not a choke.
That's
a choke in my opinion.
That's just everyone not
a choke.
Not losing every
like you lose any game, it's a choke. Like doesn't make any sense.
Any game. But there's games that were absolutely needed to win.
Like
Those games,
the only game that we should have won that we lost was Fulham and West Ham. Those two.
I
games
think Mac's idea is
in the Christmas window. I'll give you that. But outside of that,
I think Mac's idea is
his idea is perfection. Is that Arsenal need to be perfect in order to win the league, which is what it is.
That's kind of the bar.
Which is what it is.
They had the last 3 seasons.
They got to be the 07 Patriots or something.
Yeah.
So this is what it is. Like there's 115 charges. Okay. So 115 charges.
That's why Max is saying the point deduction will bring them to third place. There it is.
That can take a small
that or it's relegation. But my point is this.
My math too conservative. They might go down to bottom half of the table for all we know.
Yeah, exactly. My point is this: is that the 115 charges, okay, whether they're guilty or they're not guilty, we know there's financial doping going on at Man City. Okay, like that has been kind of very well known that, okay, there is a big injection, just like Newcastle is, kind of getting a little bit. And, the FFP wasn't as strong then. So, yes, this machine has been built over the past 15 years. And, expecting Arsenal to go against that is insane. Insane.
It takes time. And I will say this, but AJ, just to double down on Max's point, it's just what's expected of a team that wants to meaningfully challenge cities. Like you basically have to be perfect. I think that we were this close, right? I wouldn't say we choked it. I would say we were this close.
It's either you have to be perfect or you have to hope that they get so many fucking injuries, just like Liverpool that one season, and run away with it from the start.
Even then, they have so much depth, and I don't even know how, if they would drop
that
far.
I'll say when we choked, like when Leicester City won it, we choked.
Yeah,
that was a year we should have won it.
Yeah, I think
this past year was not.
I think Arsenal minorly choked it a bit.
82 points.
It was that Etihad game. If they just went for it instead of, I know sitting back was the right plan at the time, and in hindsight, like, if you win that game, okay. But I said this in the show after that we did on the Roundtable that the mindset for me threw me off there. If the mindset is different from Arsenal this season, I think they'll be a completely different side.
Okay, just like you said, if we had won that game, equally, if we had lost that game, we're out of the title race right then and there. Right then and there, we're out of it. If the Villa game came after that, and so if we had just not lost the Villa game, to me that was a bigger sign of the title race falling back into the hands of City.
So you think if you beat Villa, you would have went toe to toe with City instead of like sitting back or being conservative? They didn't sit back, just being.
I think both the Fulham games is what cost.
Yeah, I think it was Fulham and West Ham. I think it was a Christmas window. That's really what it was.
I think you have to look at it from the mindset of the player, right? And I think Rodri said this perfectly when they left the league, because he mentioned this, is that when you're players and you're trying to fight for the league for the second time against the machine, like AJ mentioned, going to their stadium, to their home to play, I don't want to say play for a draw. I don't think any team really goes out there and plays for a draw a lot, but to be as conservative as you can be to not make a mistake, to end up celebrating a draw, for me is what threw me off. I think if Arsenal had a fantastic record against the top six, they didn't lose any single game whatsoever, but if they just push it, and then, of course, mentally dropping Man City as well, I think could have been completely different. I think leading up to it, of course, let that kind of decision from Arteta to be a bit more conservative, and maybe they beat Villa, they would have maybe went toe-to-toe, lost, won or draw, who knows. But going to that game with the mindset of not losing.
Villa after City? After the Etihad?
Yeah, it was after.
Was it
after?
After?
That's what I'm saying. So, going into that game, the mindset is if we lose this game, we forfeit the race, control of the race back to City. So the first goal is one.
That's actually bottling.
Yeah, you don't lose this game. And I will say this, if we had done what you suggest, right, go out there, just completely open football, leave our back line exposed.
Open football, I'm not saying that. I'm saying go out there.
If we had done that, though, then it would have been the narrative that Ange had to deal with after he went down to 9 men and had to deal with all the naivety that came with his game, right? Why are you playing this way against a team in the Premier League when you know that you just have to win games? I think either way, Arteta would have faced criticism. I think he played for the result he knew he needed to get to keep the title race in control of Arsenal. And that's what he did. He got the point, 4 out of 6 against City on the season, and we maintained control. It's when we lost to Villa that we lost it.
The point to highlight, Jose, is that they were coming up against their title rival. So it's a great opportunity for them to hit them down as well. It's not like you being Villa, then you see them drop points against Wolves, like, okay, yeah, we're going to rally up, they drop points. It's doing it against them. And that's, for me, was the issue. Because now you look at it in hindsight, they drew against City and lost.
Is it an issue? Well, that's the thing. It's the hindsight is 2020 bit, man. Because like basically, Man City did the exact same thing in the game. They were at home, and they didn't play on the front foot.
Conservative, but nobody talks about that. They're just that responsibility has to be on Arsenal for whatever reason, right?
They didn't play. They still had multiple.
They did not play well. They did not play well.
They didn't play well. But they had
both teams really played super conservatively. But again, Arsenal was the focus because we're supposed to be the ones taking it to the defending champion. I get it. I get the narrative.
It's not taking it to that. That's not the point. I'm just saying that like. At least just play like a regular game where you have an opportunity, you go for it. Not when Gabriel Jesus threw a 3v2 and then he cuts it back. And
we've seen the regular game though. We've gotten clapped in those regular games. It's just
but I will say we're kind of talking in circles. But I will say this, like going back to just how we see the City and where they kind of finish, because that's the point here. Is 3 is a crazy shout. Let's move on to somebody else who has someone not Manchester City at 3. Mohammed, who do you got, bro?
Like most of you, Liverpool. They out of Arsenal and City, I think they have the most world-class players on their team, and just world-class players do world-class things.
Fair.
I just think they're missing a 6. They get that solved, they're a good team. I think they can do whatever they want. You just have to see how slow.
I think they hijack United's target and go get Sander Berge, bro.
I think they go get Orgate from PSG.
They can
have. I know Max like they can fucking have Sander Berge, bro.
They can.
Hey, he's a decent.
He's not a bad player. Like.
I tell you what, I would take Sander Berge over Casemiro right now. I'll tell you that shit.
I would take Sander Berge in my team right now.
Mm-hmm.
You can use anybody, Austin. Austin, I can play for Leicester right now.
Hey, take Casemiro, bro. I mean, it might be a good fit. Who knows?
I mean, if anybody wants Wilfred and Didi, you can have him.
Hey, you renewed his deal. He was a free agent for
3 years.
You should have gave us him 2 years ago.
Yeah, honestly, a few years back I would have taken a Didi.
Wait, so does everyone here have Liverpool but Max?
But Max, I think, yeah.
Yeah,
decent.
Yeah, it's Liverpool as well for me. Yeah, because
guys,
it's the top end talent. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's how we'll do 1 and 2. Okay. So here's how we'll do 1 and 2. Everyone just say at the same time who you have your champion.
I'm just laughing. I feel like Max
is gonna fucking throw everybody off. It is what it is. All right. Everybody say your champion on the count of 3. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Arsenal.
Manchester United.
I
United.
don't know how United's going to make up 30 points. 30 points.
Yeah.
30 point difference.
Let me explain to you why.
First
of all, I will never put Arsenal to win the league. Never. Absolutely never.
So it's pure bias and agenda. Got it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
He knows.
Absolutely.
Nothing to explain. There's no logic behind it. Cool. Pure bias and agenda.
But this season is the biggest season for Ten Hag, for Rashford, for a lot of these United players.
Ineos.
And I think, and Ineos, yes, this project is just starting. Absolutely, yes, it's a new project, new ownership, a lot of new players coming in. It's going to be a challenging season. But Rashford, Bruno, if we can take it to another level, if we take it to another level, we can probably get the form Casemiro had at Real Madrid. We have a world-class center back and Lisandro Martinez. We have Euro. We have De Ligt. We have I think Xerxes. I think he's better than what people are saying. He is.
So better. 40 million again for someone in one-eyed season as a striker.
He's also young. I don't think this is the season where they're expecting him to score 15.
I'm not talk about too much.
Chris Wood's gonna have more goals.
I'm not expecting. I think
yes, sir.
The main reason why we signed another young striker is obviously one more competition for Hoyland.
Yeah, for him to grow. I'm not expecting him to get
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But I think
it's that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And we're still in the market for signing for another midfielder. Maybe it could be Zubimendi, depending on departures from Scotty. We can maybe Lindelof. We can get some money from Lindelof and Maguire, and we can hopefully get Ugarte. But I think this season is a detrimental season for United.
I feel so bad because Matt's gonna come back here in like 3 months and just be like, guys,
if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm putting all my cards on the table for United. That's just what I'm gonna do. If I'm wrong, I could be completely wrong.
What I hear is just a lot of ifs, a ton of ifs, and you're expecting a ton of players to play above their level, and their level ain't that. Their level ain't top of the league. It's just unfortunately part of it
with an unfinished team. Now this team's not finished.
The only reason you guys finished third, in my opinion, was Rashford's purple patch. It's the only reason I think you guys finished third that year because your goal differential was at 0.
But what if Rashford does what he does, and now we have a solid
just a massive team. What if? Do you remember the form he was in? It was crazy.
Guys, he's a United.
If he replicates half of that,
Yeah, that's
out
fair.
of the level.
Yeah, that's true. Hoppen's right. We're not going to convince Max otherwise, but it's a good. It's your shout. I respect it. Everyone's have their opinion.
I just think United has a lot of holes that they didn't fill. They still don't have a striker. They don't have a six.
We have two strikers.
Yeah, they're not good. They're not good strikers. Like you're not going to win. You're not going to win the but you're not going to win the league with both of them. It's like
I'm pretty sure Højlund was like only a few goals off of Isak. It's like he's not like
like 10 goals off.
But he's already hurt. That's the issue.
He's already hurt too.
But he was hurt. We were hurt last season because we had no one else to fucking play. So people who had lingering issues had to play because we had.
Bruno did play a striker a lot last season. I'll give Max that.
Yeah, Bruno played a false stop. Like, we had to play so many people at so many different positions last season because we just had no one to play.
And to be fair, Højlund kind of did pick it up towards the end of the season.
He started.
And that was why Miracle came.
But that was expected because he's a new young striker to the Prem, and now this is his second season, his sophomore season. He should pick up a level. But you guys, listen.
That's usually when the league finds you out, and then you really have to adjust. And if you don't adjust, you sink or swim.
Yeah, absolutely. But that goes for any striker in the Prem, to be honest.
Darwin's a good shout because he did flop. He's still in contention for that. Flop. You know, I don't know if you can really say he hasn't.
How is he? You can't tell me Darwin.
Yes, I agree with you, bro. What I'm saying is with Xerxes and Højlund, it's just that they're young, and my expectation for them isn't super high, but I don't think they're bad. I just think that they're early, maybe. But for this season, can those strikers carry you to a EPL title? I don't know, man. I think
Bruno and Rashford can. I think Bruno. I think absolutely
determined. Now with your defense,
COVID Bruno,
our defense is.
We had the COVID Bruno. COVID Bruno was wild. COVID Bruno.
2 seasons ago. So this is what happens in the Premier League. This is what happens in the Premier League, man. If you don't get better, if you don't find more players that are better, then you regress.
We signed 4 players, and 2 of them are going to be starters.
You can sign players, but they have to be better.
They are. So they
are better.
I have their 4 signings. 2 of them are starters. Like
they're better because the floor is a little low. At least in my opinion right now. That's what I'm saying.
That's not true.
They're not champion.
Johnny Evans did start a lot of
coming off the 8th place finish. The floor is pretty low.
Yeah, Johnny Evans did start a lot of games last season.
The Ligt and Euro are better than Lindelof.
You're not going to have Yoda for 2 months. The Ligt will have to carry it by himself.
Maguire. But he's saying that's exactly what he's saying. He's saying they're not much better.
Champion level.
The Ligt is a Champions level player.
The Ligt is a Champions level. He is. I see AJ's point because I think
not in the Premier League. Hasn't been proven. We know he's not. Yeah, we know he's not a good enough.
It's Calafiori upgrade, 60 million. He was more expensive than the Lit. Not a champion anywhere else. Off of one good season. It's kind of the same thing. You want to, balance it out.
No, that's not the same thing.
It is the same thing.
Definitely
the same thing would be like if United had signed Delete coming off of the Ajax season, not coming off of these 2 botched Tier 1 campaigns in Serie A and Bundesliga. It's not the
We're
same.
talking about a 22-year-old player versus a player that has bounced around from Juve to Bayern. Where why are these big teams getting rid of him?
That's what I'm saying. That's the only thing with Delete with me is like
Juventus is broke.
But it's been listen. Hold on. I understand your point about why he's been sold. I think it's valid, but it's been really clear that he's been sold both times for financial. One because of his wages, one because of Juventus being broke. If he was sold because surplus to requirements wasn't
he's not
enough,
a bum. We're not saying he's a bum.
The way you're presenting it, you're making it sound like he's a bum.
I'm saying he's not a champion level player, a Premier
League start for either Arsenal or City today. Does not. Just doesn't. Sorry, like he just doesn't. He doesn't make it.
He doesn't.
Like I mean, it's just plain
simple. Over Gabriel, but Gabriel already has.
No, he doesn't, bro. He doesn't. That's arguably the best center back duo in the Premier League. One of the best, probably in the world.
Let me finish.
I think he's playing the player to player, not the duo.
Yeah, but that's part of it. I mean, we're not playing FIFA or EA FC here. We're doing football in real life, and the duo, the chemistry between your 2 center backs is important.
Yeah, but if you're comparing player is different. You're comparing the Lit as a center back over his years in Gabriel. That's what Max is trying to say.
That's not bad for sure. But what I'm saying is he doesn't make it into those 2 sides.
He doesn't. Yeah.
He doesn't. Like he just doesn't. And again, I'm not saying he's a bad player.
There's nothing wrong with no.
He raises the floor for United 100%.
But to be honest, there aren't really too many center backs that get into that City side. So that's also another fact.
And does the center back get into that Arsenal duo, Jose? Let us know. Who breaks in the Saliba?
So you can't. Those are two.
I think Timber will challenge Gabriel, and we've already seen Timber dethrone Delete at the national team level. I think he is a center back that I would still take over Delete in our starting lineup today for Gabriel. I think there will be times we see Calafiori in that left center back position. we can go in a number of different ways here, bro. Arguably, Arsenal probably has right now the deepest defense, maybe even in the world at the moment. Like, I can't think of another top team right now that has as many high quality defenders as Arsenal have at this very moment.
Real Madrid. Barcelona does, but they're just not fit.
I don't think so. Like, and especially with center back depth, I really don't think so. Like, I can't, bro.
For Barcelona,
and first off, 100% in the Premier League, but even globally, I feel like there's. I mean, Real, I will say no. Barcelona, they're deep.
Personnel wise,
right now. Yeah, they're deep.
Sure.
It's just it's just players are injured.
Wait, okay, so we have Max is kind of the anomaly here, so we at least have 6 other people. I didn't hear. I was waiting for you for Max to say United.
I'm putting all my cards on the table. It's fine.
That's
fair.
Valid.
Right, I want to hear from quickly from just a really quick City take before we move on, because I think AJ and I have made the case for Arsenal to an extent. I think a lot of folks will be backing City to be favorites again. It happens every year. Who has somewhat of a different argument besides the fact that they've won the last 4 in a row?
So we know. So we know that AJ and yourself said Arsenal. We know that Dave is probably going to say City. What did Austin and Mohammed say?
I said City.
I said Arsenal.
Mohammed, my man.
I think Arsenal got better while City got worse.
You know what? Let me just say this.
Yeah, Julian Alvarez is a big miss for sure. I mean, he scored a lot of goals for them last season.
I'm so sad he went to Atletico. My fear is that Simeone's going to ruin him just like he did to Joao Felix. But, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man.
I have absolutely no idea who's going to win this. I have no idea who's going to win this league.
To be honest, bias aside, I still don't think City's winning the league. I just don't think they're going to win the league.
Here's the thing with me. I on my list I put Arsenal as winning the league, but the issue for me is that I think both teams, Arsenal and City, are one good signing away from trumping the other. If City sign a good player, if Arsenal sign a good player, I think that's going to be the whatever maybe any top player that improves their team. Like Mohammed was saying, players that are good enough to get into your starting lineup. Either team make that one signing in the final few weeks of the window. I think that will tip them.
I've seen rumors floating around the Man City realm saying that they're interested in one of Eze or Bruno Guimaraes from.
If they get Bruno, that would be a really good sign. I think.
I think I know that last year they were also linked with Lucas Paquetá, but
he's gone.
He's with Tonali.
Make it rain.
Yeah,
I will say this too with City really quick. Sorry, Max, I didn't cut you off. With City, Rodri's also played a shit ton of minutes.
And he's coming off a Euro Cup win, so he's played extended minutes. There's still no great replacement for Rodri, as we spoke last year. And many videos that if Rodri goes down,
they still have enough. I mean, I think it's like Stones will still step in there.
I don't think you understand how detrimental Rodri is to this.
It is. Oh, for sure. And I understand that. And I hope it happens, but it's one of these things that
I don't hope it happens, but I hope.
Y'all just forgetting the X factor. You're forgetting the X factor. Mr. Josep Guardiola. This man just does.
Oh my god, bro!
He's the greatest manager to ever.
Yeah,
that's my issue.
He will figure out some sort of if it's not Rodri, if it's not Stone.
I agree with you.
I picked Arsenal, but I've solely picked Arsenal because again, I think both teams are kind of even going into this league campaign, and no one's taking that extra step in the market. On one side, City have the X factor with Pep. Other side with Arsenal, they have the side of being more hungry. I think 5 is beyond unprecedented. I think 4 was definitely doable. That's why I predicted them last team to do it. I've seen other leagues do 4 pieces, of course, 10 pieces, stuff like that, but in the Premier League is unlikely. But I think 5 is just a bit too much. If Arsenal can just make that one signing, whether it's Mikel Merino, a striker, a winger, they just need one more piece. I think they're one signing away.
And that's what we need. I think we need that transitional inevitability.
And also, City, they're one signing away from making Arsenal, shiver in their boots because Savinho is a top signing. Again, like you guys mentioned, Rodri played a lot of minutes. That'll be an issue. But Holland's coming off the fresh back of a whole entire summer off as well. They have, again, one of the best squads in the league. Yes, they lost one of their best depth players in Julian Alvarez. But again, they make a sign to, bring someone in. That's what I hate about these videos, that the market's still open. I think Wenger was onto something about the market being open when the season starts. He was talking some sense because it's hard to predict. I don't think, I will say this though, I don't think it'll be close. I think whoever takes it will win it by a good margin. I don't think there'll be, title race kind of thing. I think it will be
what's a good margin? Like, are we talking 5, 6, 8 points?
I'm saying by the last 3 games, it's already decided.
So 5, 6 points.
5, 6 points.
Yeah, 7 points. Okay. 7 points.
No,
I think
it had to be 9 points.
It could be 7 technically going into the final 2 games of the season, technically. But I will say, I think it's to be a little bit closer. I think 5. Probably a good number.
And
But
I think this is the season where we see Phil Foden come into his own, and I think he's going to.
I think that was last season, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I don't even know if he
Yeah.
replicates that, to be honest.
Player of the
Like,
year.
No, I
he
I
might, but
I think it could happen.
Here's another
I think
issue
so.
that as well that I forgot to mention. I think City's priority this we talked about a lot of priorities with Unai Emery and Tottenham and Liverpool and United. I believe that City's priority this season is to get the 5th. No, I think it's them getting the 5th. And I think Arsenal's priority this season is just to win a goddamn trophy.
Yeah.
And that's why I think I've gone with Arsenal, because I think this season they will win a trophy. Which trophy it will be, whether it's Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Premier League, I have no idea. But I think that Arsenal will finally break a trophy this season.
I think it's
And
going to be a trophy, but we'll find out.
That's why I think Arteta wants, and Arsenal, they want their first trophy in that kind of like their era with their squad to be the Premier League. And I just, again, with priorities and signings, it's too.
What happened?
I can cut out.
Yeah,
You cut out, but
my thing with City is I'm not going to pick them to not win the league until they've not won the league. When you've won it 4 times.
Yeah, that is.
But
that's fair point.
the downfall's coming. Like, they're not going to keep. And I think Arsenal's going to win a league in the next 3 years. I just don't know if it's going to be this year.
I think you'll see Arsenal, and I think you potentially see Liverpool, like post Guardiola, win titles.
Yeah,
and then it'll be City kind of.
But it won't mean as much. We have to win one with Pep here. I think this year is going to be
the downfall of
one
City will be will be this summer when Pep leaves.
Now keep in mind, right? This is still somewhat contingent upon Arsenal sealing the Mikel Merino deal, which now will happen because Zubimendi, with that now being completely done, they're not going to lose their 2 starting center mids in one window. Zubimendi's going to stay. Merino will move.
Merino's always going to be the option because he only had 1 year left on his deal, right?
Exactly.
It's supposed to have no leverage, but they have leverage for Zubimendi.
And then I still think we need. It's not going to be a Nico Williams. I think it needs to be either a winger or a striker. I don't think it has to be a striker. I think it could be a winger to just provide more competition for guys like Saka. I think the competition between Trossard and Martinelli last season was perfect. I think having that again this season would be great, but we need someone on the other side too.
Here's the thing, Jose. Just one of them, either a winger or Marino, and I think that would definitely tip you as a bit of a favorite with a burnout expected from City and stuff like that. But going in right now, it's so hard to call. And I think, again, like we talked about with United, the start of the season is going to be the telling part, because once people hit, mid-February, once they get burned down, and that's when injuries kind of hit their prime. It's all about the start that I think that is going to really push to see who wins it.
So we got 4 Arsenals, 2 Cities, and a cheeky Manchester United. We'll see how it all goes. All right, relegation 3. This one should be pretty straightforward to an extent, but I'm sure we have.
Let's say this: does anyone not have the 3 teams coming up?
I have 2. I have 2 of the 3.
I have 2 of the 3.
Yeah,
I think I have 2 of the 3 because
we all have 2 of the 3. That's kind of interesting.
I have 1.
Yeah.
Max, you're wild in this video. Oh, what the hell you're
I have 1. I have 1. It's. I'll go first. It's clearly I'm the odd one out, but it's Forest, Brentford, and Ipswich.
That's not a crazy shout. I debated Brentford for a second.
Forest, Brentford, and Ipswich.
Okay, yeah.
That's interesting. I had Forest, Leicester, and Ipswich.
See, I think we have a lot of the same. I've gone Ipswich, Forest, and Southampton.
I think Southampton's not impressive at all, but I feel like they'll find a way.
Southampton feels like more.
I love that whole Southampton team, so I would love them to stay up. But
Burnley of last year, how we expect them to stay up, but there's a chance
I honestly just kept Leicester up purely on vibes, just because I feel like I thought everyone in this show would come in with.
I let them up just on vibes so I can make Austin happy.
I thought everyone would come into this. I thought everyone would come into this show.
You didn't have to, because I'm not happy. But
and I will say, I'm already being down 10 points is such a bad thing.
But I thought that everyone would come into this show with the 3 teams coming down. So I thought I was going to be kind of the anomaly. But I think that Leicester, they have the vibe. They got a great stadium. They're bringing in some good players as well. They get Zaha on loan. King Power is decent. In the Premier League?
Oh, Mohammed, who'd you have?
I have Southampton finishing bottom, then Leicester, then Forest.
Ipswich staying up, you're crazy.
That is kind of wild. That's kind of wild. That's right up there with Newcastle top 4 vibes, bro. That's
Mohammed, I fell for the trap last season. I'm warning you. Don't fall for this season.
You'll see it. I believe in their manager.
Ipswich even signed someone?
Neither has Leicester actually lost people.
Leicester are going to sign people. I don't think the reason why I have Southampton and Ipswich down.
I don't think they
haven't signed anyone. They're going into the.
I don't think Leicester can afford to sign anybody.
They're being linked with a lot of like semi decent players. Like when you come up from the championship, you want to sign those veterans and experienced players.
I feel like
kind of
Leicester,
what Louis did late on.
Didn't they lose their manager and their best player?
Yeah, but they brought they already have a decent enough squad because again the way they won the championship, they're making again. This is kind of me assuming
I don't believe that. Though. I don't believe that. We thought that about Burnley last season.
But the one thing I will say about Leicester is that they do have players who have played in the Prem before.
Yeah, they have. And again, Jamie Vardy hyped last season. He's gonna get at least 10+ goals.
We're not riding this last dance for Jamie Vardy.
I am.
Hey, Jamie Vardy's got 15 goals this season.
No, he's having a party, mate.
Yeah, he'll score in clutch moments, and I'll be hyped. But he's not.
Let's hear from the Leicester fan.
Can I speak on the shit state of my team? I don't have us going down because I can't. I just can't. I have Forest going down because fuck them. But
all of us have Forest. I think everyone here has Forest. Who doesn't have Forest,
bro?
Because they're not good.
Their summer has been shite as well.
We do have players with experience, like Winks and Ndidi and Pereira, but we had no striker.
And you have Steve Cooper, bro. Absolutely, the god of all managers.
Vardy's hurt. We're starting Mavididi at striker instead of Tom Cannon, who we bought last year. I don't know. I don't see us better than 16th. Like, I'm talking ceiling is like 15th, 16th. For this team.
Banking on Leicester doing a Sean Dyche 2.0 with the point deduction just still staying up.
Our goalie is Erminson's good. He can be a little iffy sometimes. He's decent with the ball at his feet. We got to find a center back because we can't have Vestergaard and Wout Fass in the Premier League.
Clepa Longley would do wonders for Leicester.
He would.
Absolutely. Please,
wonders.
Please
take Harry Maguire back.
Maguire would do wonders.
We tried.
Lindelof would do wonders.
Hey, what about Johnny Evans?
No, Johnny Evans.
Another one.
Johnny Evans is United hero. He's never going to leave. Honestly, I want to keep Johnny Evans.
Like, we were going to sign Zaha for £9 million on a loan fee.
$9 million for a loan fee? Are you high?
It's not going to happen.
It just seems like a proper championship side. That's why I see them going down. It just feels that way.
But I think
we're quite clear though, and we can all agree that the 4 relegation candidates are Forest and the 3 coming up. I think it'll be a battle between who comes up. I think all of them have a chance except for Ipswich. So I don't.
Max had Brentford there too, by the way.
I will guarantee. Ipswich
I have Wolves in that.
You can't back on just a manager, Mohammed. They didn't even sign a player. They're going in with the championship squad.
If Ipswich doesn't stay up, I will shave my head.
Oh my God!
Let's see the hair.
Let's
see the hair right now. Yeah.
No, bro. And he'll shave it on.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Though.
They don't stay up.
You'll shave it on Yanks of the Roundtable at the end of the season.
Yo, you better get yourself a Dominican barber.
That's what I'm
Get
talking
yourself a Dominican barber.
Now this episode's golden. Now this episode is golden, bro.
I have Wolves in this. Not in getting relegated, but in the situation.
Okay,
so
that's fair. Yeah,
I'm on the Leicester storyline. I'm not gonna lie.
I think that collectively, and then Davi, I don't know if I heard you say anybody different on your side for the 3 relegation.
No, I'm the same as Barca boy. I got Ipswich 20th, Southampton 19th, and Forest in 18th, and I got Leicester 17th.
Okay.
Same.
All right. After this episode, by the way, everybody just send me their list really quick for all these categories. I can make sure I have all the graphics and stuff right. But yeah, bro, I think we're all kind of there. Ipswich should go down. I think Leicester City probably will be in that running. Southampton to me is just more of a question mark between them and guys like Forest and maybe even Brentford. So
I think the deciding factor will be how they do in the market. Because again, if side no one, Southampton side no one. I don't think Nottingham Forest have signed anyone as well. They're bidding for good players, Nottingham Forest, but they're getting rejected. They're not coming.
Hold on, I want to hear this Wolves shout. AJ, talk to me, bro.
Yeah, no. So I mean, pretty much they lost Neto. They haven't really done anything in this window, and
Kilman.
And
Kilman.
I mean,
West Ham,
Kilman's actually a big one, in my opinion. He was the captain and the starting center back.
Yeah, and that's gutting to a Wolves side. That it's pretty much like they've got a little carousel going with their coach too. So it's I don't know. I don't know if they have the goods to stay in, especially.
But O'Neill's a good coach, though. O'Neill's a good coach.
I do rate Gary O'Neill.
A good coach can do wonders for a team.
I think he's good.
And their squad is okay.
Are brutal.
Yeah, exactly. The talent is just not.
Yeah. Arsenal get them opening week, but their whole opening schedule is kind of wild. It's kind of
here's the thing. I think
it'd be demoralizing.
Yeah, it really can.
I think we'll stay up just because there's 4 or 5
I think
bad teams that are worse than them.
I think there's 3 to 4 worse teams than them. But they're in this.
I think I would classify Brentford as worse than Southampton.
Max, did you have Brentford going down?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah.
See, I thought about them. I'm like Thomas Frank, Ivan Toney. I'll let them finish like
they barely escaped last season too.
They
Like,
did.
But listen,
especially. I truly think Tony's going to be gone this window. So
if he is, I'm putting them down. Honestly, I'm putting them down.
Fair. Again, the window's
gone,
not yet closed, so things can happen. But we'll
Carvalho,
see
good improvement on their already mid squad. They've kept their manager who was getting experience and done well. They kept their star striker who they missed out for the first 4 months of last season. So I kept them up.
Yeah,
Twitter boy Neil Mape.
Neil Mape as well. Yeah,
I love his tweets,
Arsenal
bro. I love
legend.
his tweets. Yeah, guy's a legend on the timeline.
Argentina legend as well. Shout out to him.
All right, let's move on to the surprise team. Everybody's got, of course, a few shouts here. Let's start with AJ this time around. AJ, who'd you have, bro?
I've got Crystal Palace.
My boy, Maji.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I mean, I think they've got enough. They've got enough top talent, and if they can keep SA, then I think it's
we got 4 Crystal Palace. Matt, did you put your hand up for Crystal Palace? Oh, Dave, you put your hand up?
Yes,
sir. We did. So 4. Yeah, the overwhelming majority for Palace.
To me, it was between Palace or Everton. I think
Austin's in as well. That's fine.
And for me,
are they surprising then? If we're all picking them,
great show.
That's a great shout.
Yeah. I mean, the Glasner hype is real. I mean, like.
It's not even that. They signed my boy Chad Riyad. What a top young defender.
That's not the reason.
He's gonna light up.
That's not the reason.
He's gonna light up the Premier League. That's
they got my guy Chris Richards in the back. He's chefing it up.
Guys, they have the greatest.
Say it, Max.
They have the greatest striker that Jose has ever said in his life.
Yes, sir.
Mateta.
He's in a feast at the Emirates.
Man could have scored an open play goal against boys in the Olympics, but sure, I guess he could fucking do it.
He did score in the.
Yeah, he got a penalty goal in the final. Yeah. I mean,
sure. He scored in every single game but one. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, look, Mateta had a great run of form. I still think the man is shite, but like if he proves me wrong, he proves me wrong. I'll hold my hands up.
That brace back at the Emirates is gonna hit different.
I was hoping Arsenal would go like, should we buy Mateta?
No, that would be so gutted.
I would have literally messaged Jose like, "What's your address? I'm sending you a Mateta jersey right now."
Bro, that would have been epic. I can't even lie. I would have brought that to the show and be like, "Look at this fucking kid, bro."
Wait, Mohammed.
The way Jose would have flipped, turned the script.
No fucking way. No fucking way. I'll talk about Mateta the way I talk about Eddie Nketiah. It's the same shit, in my opinion. He's gonna move on.
Who'd you have?
Can we get him?
I have Brighton.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think they have really good players, and I think
Matoma for it.
Oh, okay. We're not gonna have him go.
That's crazy. If he's gonna lose the hair, he needs the beard at least.
Yeah.
I need the beard. I need to grow it up.
But are you not worried about losing? The German they just lost. Who was it? Why am I
But they also have Solly March back.
But they did. Back. They also sold.
It's all this back though. They've not made it again. They're a team that haven't made an improvement. I think they'll finish bottom.
This is always Brighton though. This is always Brighton.
I think they'll finish bottom half. I think them touching like 10th and above is a crazy season for them.
I see them 10 and above. I think they always have a system that they play, regardless of who's their coach, and they always do well. It seems they can sell half their starters. Sell half their starters and still do well.
If they had also Fati still, maybe, but.
Is Evan Ferguson going to show back up?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of hype around him, but I don't think he's going to be starter. It's probably going to be Danny Welbeck still.
They should have sold Evan Ferguson 2 seasons ago.
Honestly, I think it's going to be Joao Pedro, if we're being honest. Like, I really think it's going to be him who has to step up and see an elevation from last season. But I actually think it's a crazy shout. Mohammed, let me ask you, bro. Do they exceed Palace's finish in the table? Do they finish above Palace?
I think they finish above Palace.
What do you have? What do you have Palace?
I have Brighton at 8th, Palace at 9.
Okay, I have Palace 9, Brighton 10.
It's right there, like mid-table. I really think like both those teams are right there. But based on recent history, though, Mohammed's kind of right. Like Brighton just has been able to do it regardless of who's the manager, regardless of what player personnel they have out in the pitch. They kind of.
What have they always done? They've always made smart, intelligent moves in the market, which they've not done at all so far. Yeah, not signed a single human being.
They signed Newcastle's winger that played in under Slot last year. Had like 10 goals, I think, and like
what's his name?
I don't know how to pronounce it properly. So I'm about to
Vifer.
Max Pfeiffer. Yes, that's a great signing by them.
And they also signed.
He's not a winger. He's a pivot.
No, I was thinking about someone else. I was thinking
Mente,
Yankuba Mente.
Mente. Yep.
I forgot about that. Max Pfeiffer is a hell of a signing. Good player.
I think
treat him right.
everybody
He's
will.
doing something big.
Valentino Barco could be another good
Yeah,
shot.
kind of January signs to kind of his new signing hype. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a Brighton. We got 4 different Palace ones. Who hasn't gone yet?
I wanted to say Everton because I think Sean Dyche. Sean Dyche terrorist ball could actually work in the Premier League. I mean, it worked for how many years at Burnley?
Bro, that's true. That's so true, though.
It's still working.
It works.
And
if Everton signed Victor Roque, they're finishing top half. I'll tell you that right now.
Bro,
Stop, man. Stop. All right.
I mean,
Everton could be a good shout too.
Jose, let's hear your West Ham shout.
My West Ham shout.
Yeah, because you had him 6.
Is it West Ham? I'm just guessing.
Yeah, I mean,
it's got to be.
It has to be. It has to be
West Ham. I knew it.
I mean, because again, nobody has them finishing 6. In fact, I haven't seen any predictions videos.
The reason why I didn't pick West Ham was because I felt we were coming to the show with them like a top 18. That's why I kind of left them to the side and picked Crystal Palace. Honorable mention though to Bournemouth. My boy Iraola, I downed him last season. I ain't downing him this season. I think they will do really well. They finished last season in 12th. I see them finishing like.
But they got to replace Solanke.
They got to replace Solanke.
Yeah.
They will.
I mean, Nketiah might be that person.
Eddie might be moving on to Bournemouth.
They have Ennis Ronell, who they brought in January. He was kind of more so about a second option coverage competition, so he'll take the starting role. He did well for Getafe. He's gotten double digits in both the seasons he played for Getafe, so he's always been.
I was about to say Mateta.
Nah, I gotta say Crystal Palace Mateta. I gotta lie to
them.
Yeah. And Bournemouth got Araujo.
Yeah.
Yes, my boy Julian.
Yeah,
Julian, yep.
The Mexican, bro. I was kind of hoping he'd work out at Barca, but it is what it is.
I'll take the 10 mil. 10 mil is 10 mil. Fuck it.
Yeah, 10 mil is 10 mil. Yeah.
So 5 Crystal Palace, a Brighton, and a West Ham. That's pretty good category.
That's pretty good. Now, underperforming team. The underperforming team.
Can I go first, please? Because I've been holding this in for such a long time. It is going to be Chelsea, and the fact that Mohamed had him top 4 is just ridiculous. If they finish in a European spot, I will hold the fattest L ever. Because this team is in beyond disarray.
Shave your head. Shave your head.
Hey, you know what? It's not a bad shout, bro. It's not a bad shout. Hey,
no.
Come on, bro. Come on.
So you're not serious, then.
Chelsea.
That's true. It's not a serious take there. You don't really back it. You don't really back it.
Can I do a skin fade or I gotta go bald? Because a bald, I'm saying clear of.
Skin fade, man. Prison skin fade.
I'll do a prison break skin fade. Why not? They finished top 6. I'll get a skin fade.
All right, fair enough.
But listen, Chelsea are in disarray. Enzo is again. They just banking on him being a Pep Guardiola prodigy. He's not impressive whatsoever in preseason. Their squad is all over the place. One's having beef with his own teammates. The next minute they're dancing in the stadium. I saw a clip of Chelsea's official Twitter account post a clip of the team working on the gym. I've never seen a gym more crowded in my life. I mean,
they got the double ducker.
The players are there. Of course, they have good players. Their captain can't stay fit to save his life. They have about 8 strikers. So I don't know who's going to be the starting striker.
They have 16 goalkeepers because they keep signing
they have more goalkeepers than they have fullbacks.
They literally have 16 goalkeepers. It's absolutely insane.
Will Cucurella continue the Spain form, or will he drop off like he tends to do? Their center back position.
I'm sorry, just that meme is hilarious.
Holland is about an ass fucking game.
I know, bro. I know. I can't wait for week 1 for Holland just absolutely go.
Where's Cole Palmer going to play as well? Is he going to play off the left, off the right, down the middle?
And he'll probably regress just based on how great last season was.
Exactly. He'll be good, but he won't be as good.
By the way, I also had Chelsea. I'm not going to pop it on that one.
I need to ask this question about Cole Palmer. Can he finally keep his mouth closed?
That's a big question. Anyone else have Chelsea? Just me and Jose?
No. And Cuckoo's got to stay healthy for that.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Yeah, there you go. See,
AJ, my boy.
There it is. Yep. Underperforming.
I mean, it has to be. It has to be.
Listen, so Chelsea finished 6th last season. I will guarantee for free they will finish under 6. So they could finish 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. I don't care. They are not finishing in that top 6.
I agree.
That's my underperforming team.
Wholeheartedly. Say it with my chest. All right. Who else? Who's next?
I have West Ham.
Damn, bro.
That's not outrageous to say.
What's underperforming? Give me a spot.
Yeah, what is
I don't think they touch top 8.
That's still not.
That's underperforming.
No. I don't think. They brought in a good bit of talent, but yeah, exactly. It's still expectations are not super high.
But they spent a lot of money this year. I think they're most in Europe. So I think anything under 8.
But they've signed players for good prices and good players as well. Not made, Wan-Bissaka for 15, great deal.
It's just they finished 9th last season. That's the only thing. That's my only thing is they finished 9th.
Yeah, I guess, but I just don't think they're going to finish probably 10th or 11th.
But kudos going into his second season. You have Bowen off the back of his good season. Will he continue? Will he improve?
Always, bro. Bowen is probably the most consistent one of the most consistent actors in the whole league.
So will he step
always
up?
shows up?
Will he step up or keep it the same? That's of course going to have a
And I'm
factor.
not even blaming the players. I just don't believe in the manager. I don't believe.
I don't believe
That's
that.
valid. That's so valid.
I don't believe in that manager either. To be honest,
That's valid. That's valid.
He's a worse version of David Moyes, and he's just not going to play.
That's kind of a crazy shout. David Moyes was, I don't know.
David Moyes.
Here's the question. It's a great point. Is Lopetegui improving on Moyes? I think it's kind of the same level.
Let's not forget, David Moyes also won him a European trophy.
That's conference. Come on now.
But he almost got them relegated.
That's true.
Literally a year later.
True.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I mean,
I don't know.
very well. Yeah,
we were
the wheels could fall off
for 2 years and then got relegated. So it can happen.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
the
keep it
wheels
moving.
could
Let's keep
fall.
it moving, though. Let's keep it moving.
Austin, who do you have?
Yeah, Austin.
I don't know if it's really underperforming. I have Brentford, but I mean, if they lose
It's
Tony,
not underperforming.
I mean, yeah.
If
I mean, I guess
Brentford are
maybe
not in a relegation
underperforming.
battle, that's
W
the whole season. The overperformance. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a W season then. I mean,
I can understand Austin's point of view though. He's more so banking on Tony leaving. If he does leave, they might be in the pits of the Premier League.
They signed a replacement, and he's hurt.
Yeah, the guy they spent 30 million on
Igor,
from the Greek league, was it?
Thiago.
Yeah.
Yeah, Igor. Yep.
He's out for a minute. I think he's out for the whole season.
Yeah,
It was
he's
a
out
big
for a
injury,
while,
wasn't it?
and
Yeah.
I mean, Wiesa was good last year, but I don't think he's going to do the same.
And
and,
Bembo had a great start, then dropped off.
If they sell Sanderberg, like it could go pretty downhill.
Fair enough.
So
Fair enough. Max, did you say yours?
I had. It's kind of, I guess, maybe an underperforming, but I had Vila just based off the fact that.
What's underperforming? Define it then. Was like outside top 7?
Yeah, outside of top 7.
Okay.
That is underperforming. That is
underperforming. Yeah.
So I didn't have them top 4, and they finished top 4. And like I said earlier in the video, that I think they're going to regress a little bit in the Premier League, just kind of how Newcastle has or did. So I think they're going to underperform a little bit in the Premier League. I don't know how they're going to fare European, especially with a new format. But I think the Premier League, I think they're going to do a bit of underperforming.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit already.
Them.
That's valid. That's valid.
Yeah. All right. Did we get everybody in there for the underperformers?
I think so. Dave, what did you say?
No. United.
More. I think that's a bit of bias coming in as well.
So hold on, but keep in mind, right? What's underperforming for United? Because technically they underperformed last season. So would they have to finish?
Yeah, so that means you had to finish like 12.
Yeah, technically. Yeah,
I think honestly, I think for the signs they made, finishing outside the top 6, outside a European spot for United would be very, very underperforming.
But you could call that progress from last season, though, if they finished 6th or 7th, no?
I mean, if they finish
with the
7th,
signs
they
they've
missed
made,
out on
definitely
European
not.
football.
I mean,
No,
it's
definitely not.
United, so you expect them to be up there. So I don't know.
I mean, I guess that's fair. I'm just
But
saying.
then you can say the same thing with Vila, because Vila's technically not supposed to be top 4.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. It's interesting. It's an interesting one. So so where do you have the finishing, Dobby?
7th.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, by United's typical standards as a brand that's underperforming, but it's just technically not when you think about.
Here's the thing with United. Post Ferguson, anything they touch turns to shit.
Yeah. I mean, we all know that. Yeah, we all know that.
What makes a European spot progression for United like expectation is not only the signings, but also the backing of Ten Hag, the poor season last season as well. It's kind of the same for me from a Barcelona point of view. We had a poor season last season, but this season the bare minimum is progress and win a trophy. Which again, we don't do. It's 2 steps back and not a step forward.
You got to win like Copa or the Super Copa, one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to top scorer. Who doesn't have Erling Haaland?
God, man, you're crazy.
That's the hot take merchant on this show.
He's got Højlund. He's got Højlund, the fake Haaland.
No, I don't. I have Salah.
Could you imagine with Xerxes?
Salah.
No, Salah. Yeah, that's a good shout. That's a good shout. Yeah.
That's a good shout. Bro, a bad season for Salah was 18 goals and 10 assists. Just throwing that shit out. That's a bad season for Salah.
And they're going to feed him every minute of the game.
Under Slot, he's going to have so much more freedom. I think he's going to.
And this is why I have Liverpool 3rd.
Yeah. It's just literally player profile. Like he's gonna feast. I think. I picked Haaland because I expect his norm to get. Well, I expect his total to get back to the norm a little bit, kind of average out the last 2 seasons, which are what do you have in season 1?
35.
36.
And last season was
27.
Yeah. So I think 30 is probably right on par for where I expect.
Also, by the way, with Haaland, he's got no competition. He's going to play every single game as well. That's also why I added him.
Only thing that'll derail him is injuries. But outside of that, like I really expect him to kind of get back to what we feel like he can do. But that'll be an interesting battle.
Like it's just boring. It's just boring picking Holland. Like I'm not picking Holland.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm just.
And I think the closest person who can possibly beat him is Salah, in my opinion. So
no Ollie Watkins shouts after last season. Interesting.
No, I would back Victor Roque if he goes to Everton to like challenge.
Bro, shut the fuck up. You're not backing Victor Roque. There's no way, bro.
I think Isak might give him a run for his money.
I think Cole Palmer can get it if he gets 40 penalties.
Yeah, I was gonna say he ain't touching it. He ain't touching it unless he gets penalties.
Yeah, I agree.
He gets knocked out by one of his teammates.
Yeah, he might have to fight some off for that one.
What are the 45?
If they find some more big personalities. I don't know. We'll see. I think that was the shortest segment I expected, right? Because I think most of us either have Holland or have someone like Salah most of the most part. All right, that leads us to probably another brief one, maybe PFA Player of the Year. It was Phil Foden last season. Matt, we'll start with you, bro. Who you got?
Just because we're gonna stay on this agenda. If United's winning it all, Bruno's gonna win PFA Player of the Year.
I remember when Bruno won the Euros player. Oh wait, never mind.
Okay.
Bruno ain't coming back, man.
Hey,
Bruno ain't coming back.
Blame Ronaldo for that. All right.
That's fair. Fair enough.
Actually, Bruno had a shit Euros, but.
I want to go to Hoppin really quick. Who do you have, Hoppin, been a PFA Player
Honestly,
of the Year?
man, I picked De Bruyne for vibes. I had no idea. Someone can convince me. I would
say, bias aside, it's probably Rodri.
Yeah.
See, I thought Rodri too, but I'm expecting a bit of a drop off, like people mentioned about so many games plays and stuff like that. So I think he'll be good, but he won't be as good. So that's why I picked De Bruyne.
Guys, I got a different one. Did anybody else have a defender? Because I did.
Don't say Saliba, man, please.
William Saliba.
I like it.
Oh my God, my man.
Cook.
His inner Virgil Dyke,
You're saying cook.
Bro, he is absolutely about to cook.
Unless Arsenal keep like 20 clean sheets, I don't think he'll win. I think if Arsenal win the league, it'll be like an Odegaard or a Saka for vibes and PR.
It could be. And Odegaard's also a good shout. I love Goatee Martin, bro. I'll take Goatee Martin all day. What I'm saying is I just feel like Saliba, clearly, in my opinion, our best player. Like I think he's just, in my opinion, talent-wise, far and away our best player. I think his level has set a precedent in the Premier League. I think him and Gabriel are a fantastic duo, but I think he can do it with Calafiori. I think he can do it with Timber. I think he's just going to be the one constant in that back line. I think Arteta will rotate everyone else across all three of those backline positions. Maybe Ben White is the next most consistent one, but I think Saliba will be the tried and true force back there. So I think he's going to be another Rolls Royce defender that we see for this season as the Player of the Year. Who else we got? Who hasn't been mentioned yet?
Since I have Arsenal winning the league, I pick Declan Rice.
Ooh, that's not a bad show. It's not a bad show.
I think there's going to be a lot of inverted right back.
Look at Odegaard go excited.
Let's go,
Inverted
baby.
left back.
Yes,
I think he's going to cook more and progress the ball more and have a really good season this year. So I'm going Declan Rice.
Let's go, my man Mohammed. Speaking true.
If they get a Mikel Merino or a midfielder beside Declan Rice, I will fully back that. Especially
it's Rice, I think.
I think it's going to be one of Rodri or Foden. I think Foden has the potential to go back to back. That might be a bit of a hot take, but I
literally last season was the only time Foden's ever done in his career.
Yeah,
I think
would have to move.
He could be
mad.
He could be unlocked to do it again.
I think he can do it again.
It's also that. Well, he's got to displace KDB in order to pretty much do everything that he was doing and take those minutes. Because him on the left,
which is why I say Rodri. Which is why I could say Rodri as well. But I think this is the official season where you see De Bruyne pass the torch to Foden.
Like,
I think you have another Foden season like he had last season. I think it's officially his team.
He needs to do better. I think like this man was getting, from myself and a few other people, getting Ballon d'Or shouts in March. So this man got to like up it from that to and hopefully no one else performs as well to get PFA Player of the Year. That's the issue with Foden because PFA Player of the Year they like to do a lot on who's the best, like the next best toy. Phil Foden was last year, so unless he moves mad, like 20 goals, 10 the PR behind him, it's gonna be difficult for Phil.
Yeah, I mean English PR is real. Who else hasn't been mentioned yet?
Austin.
I picked Rodri.
Rodri. That makes sense.
Yeah. What did AJ say?
I haven't said anything yet. So it's Odegaard or Saka. I think the level that Odegaard is about to reach, I think, is it's a kind of combo of maybe his last season and the season before that, where you also have Havertz playing striker probably the entire season, more or less. Not midfielder as much. And then you have Gabriel Jesus. Like, man, he's like resurgent. He's coming off that injury, and he's finally healthy, and he's looking hungry. He's looking vibrant, and having those choices up top, if we can get another forward, I mean, that's really where I think Odegaard can really cook. And then it's just he just runs the team.
Yeah, he does.
Absolutely runs the team.
Yeah, I think he gets a better shot than Saka, in my opinion.
He
I think
does.
he gets a better shot.
Does.
Yeah. And who are we missing? Who's left? Are we good there?
I think everyone went. Yeah,
we're good.
All right, some good shouts, bro. I was the only defender though, man. That's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Defense needs more love, bro. They need more love.
It's usually they get defender of the year, that type of thing.
Well, Ruben Diaz won the PFA Player of the Year in the 2020.
Yeah, you just don't see it too often.
It's more rare.
Did Verge win it?
There's some top level defenders out there, man. I'm just saying, so it's a little rare. All right, Young Player of the Year. This one should again. I think there's only a handful of candidates, in my opinion.
Oscar Bob.
Same. Believe it or not, same. I actually have Oscar Bob.
That's not a terrible shout, but will he get enough minutes to the point that he can be in contention? Because again,
I think personally, bro, it's between him and Savinho. I think Doku is the only lock-it winger.
But what did AJ say? Remember?
No. I'm talking about Manchester City wingers.
Oh.
Yeah. He is the only lock. Doku will elevate his game on the wing, right? I mean, maybe he gets better at finishing. Who knows? I think he's a lock, but Savinho, like maybe that's a transfer. He'll come in and light the Premier League. Maybe he won't. I have no idea.
Remember what
Oscar Bob looked good in preseason.
Remember what AJ said though. Phil Foden is probably gonna get shoehorned to one of the wings with De Bruyne playing in the 10. So if you're gonna say Doku's a lock, then wouldn't Foden be on the right then?
Yeah,
that
maybe.
is unless
Bernardo Silva.
I'm saying Young Player of the Year. I'm
Bernardo
not saying
Silva as well.
I'm just saying Young Player. I think if City is still winning games at the rate that we expect them to, Oscar Bob's going to get a lot of minutes, a lot of time.
Are Cole? I didn't check this by the way. I don't know if anyone knows this off the top of their head. Are Saka and Palmer still in contention to be?
I think Palmer is.
Saka's not. I don't think.
But Palmer is.
Palmer is. He's 2002. Yeah, 2002.
Yeah. So I think with Bob's a great shout in terms of a rising star and talent, but I can't see him getting the minutes to get the PFA. If he, injuries happen, stuff, makes a move and he ends up starting playing significant, I think they're definitely a good shout. But the minutes for me is where the question mark comes in for that. But that's a great shout.
So then I'm willing to bet. I know Max got Manu. Hafid probably got Manu as well. I got
Manu.
I'm just venturing against.
So you read me like a book, man.
AJ has Manu. And again, for me, it was between Oscar Bob and Manu. Like to me, those are the two clear candidates. I don't know if Cole Palmer wins it.
I actually do like Oscar Bob. I think that.
Yeah, great player. I just get the minutes for me.
I like Kobe Manu as well. So
yeah. Look at you two getting along. That's crazy. But you wouldn't trade him, right? You wouldn't trade
him.
No. Hell no.
Yeah.
Foden for Manu?
Hell. Hey, but if you want to give Manu to NYCFC, I'll fucking take that.
Oh, shut the hell up! You ain't in that league, bro.
Hey, bro, I would take him at
like 20 years.
I think Manu is a top.
Atlanta's still got a DP spot.
I know, right?
Hey, Magno left. We need a 6.
All right. We're moving on. I think Oscar Bob and Manu are probably the clear candidates. Mohammed, we didn't get yours, by the way. I don't know who you're shouting.
Yeah, I'm going to be very biased here. Without the PR of City and United, I think Lewis Hall is going to take it home this year.
Oh, yeah. What is going on here, man?
He's going to start every single game in left back.
We talked about Max being outrageous video. I think Mohammed is definitely up.
You're going to see it. You're going to see Lewis Hall this year. We don't have a left back. 19-year-old will start every single game, and he'll take it home.
I respect the take, sir. I respect the take. We need hot
quickly, Max. How long was Kobe out for last season in the Prem? He missed the first 4 months.
The first 3 months.
Man missed the first 3 months and was still a nominee come the end. So this guy can stay fit.
We'll see what happens, man. I think it's going to be.
He's going to play the most out of most of the guys that should be up for the award. I know Palmer could be up, but I don't count him as a young player of the season.
Yeah, we'll see.
Who's your pick, Austin? Then
Manu.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I figured. I figured Manu and Bob would kind of take the
Manu, Bob, and Lewis Hall like an RKO out of nowhere.
I know, bro. I'll take it though. You
guys are lucky Lewis Smiley's hurt. I would have sent him.
Yeah. Lewis Smiley also a good young talent. All right, last two guys. Best manager.
Arteta.
Pepper Arteta.
Yeah, whoever wins it, I think that's it.
That's honestly what Max said. I will say this though, because as last season, I just think that there were some crazy shouts, and this was all over the timeline, right? At one point in the season, it was Ange. Unai Emery got a lot of love at the end of the season for the expectation that they had at Villa coming in. Like, I think context is important, and it can't just always be who wins it.
I know, but that's why I said there has to be context between the two awards: best manager and manager of the year. Because best manager is usually the manager that wins, in my opinion. Manager of the year is a manager who took his team to above expectation. That's how I always distinguish the two.
I think Pep will only win it if he wins the title. I think Arteta will only win it if he wins the title. I think the outside shouts that could really push if the boring pick happens would be a Lopetegui if he overachieves. Would be maybe Glasner and Crystal Palace if he overachieves. Those are the two that I see that can
Eddie Howe. What about Eddie Howe?
Eddie Howe, he kind of had his time. He was already nominated 2 years ago. He kind of had the hype, unless he does something crazy.
What he did already.
Same with Iraola. He had his hype last season. He won't become a nominee.
What about the Brighton manager? What about him?
Again, if they really overachieve, he might be a nominee, but I don't see him really winning it.
If Ipswich stay up, I'm going to give it to Scott McKenna, too.
This man is really on this Ipswich hype.
Ipswich is staying up.
He's trying to save as much as possible.
That's not a bad shout. That's not a bad shout.
If Ipswich stays up, McKenna should be in.
And I will say this, though, too. If somehow Liverpool is in the title race come April, May, right? Does Arne Slot get some kind of love there?
If he loses the league by a couple points, he might get it. But
he could get love, but it's hard to say that with the squad he's inherited.
Exactly.
Exactly. Like, what manager would not have issue with Salah and Van Dijk and So
I mean, to be fair, if we remember Liverpool last season, Liverpool were they were playing catch up for they led for a 2 months spell in between, but they had so many games, individual games, where they were just playing catch up. They were coming from behind. It kind of ran out of steam in the last couple months of the season. I mean, I don't know. Arne Slot might give them a new look that just has them being somewhat a top team throughout the entire 10-month stretch. I don't know, but I'm just again trying to spitball on who it could be outside of Arteta and Pep. That's really it. I don't see Scott McKenna shouts. I'll tell you that shit. But outside of that, I mean, I don't think there's any
unless
crazy
McKenna takes another job that becomes available and does something else with another team, maybe. But with Ipswich,
you'll see it. You'll see it happen.
All right.
I feel so bad because Muhammad's like me from last year. I'm just watching myself capitulate. It's just...
You will see. You will see.
I like it, bro. I like it. And then finally, this is the good one. First manager to get sacked to wrap the episode.
We should all agree. I feel
like
we should all agree with this based on our previous picks.
I think we should all agree. I'm just gonna say mine outright because I think me and Hoffman probably the same way. It's gonna be Enzo. It's gonna be Maresca.
I was gonna say Eric.
Really?
I was gonna say Gary O'Neill.
I was gonna say
really? I was gonna say Nuno.
Let me explain why though.
Damn.
Their first 8 games were brutal.
They may not win a game in the first month and a half.
Yeah.
Who, Wolves?
Yeah, they have the toughest early game schedule.
They play because I have this written down. They play Chelsea, Newcastle, Liverpool at home, at Arsenal, at Villa, at City in their first 8 games.
They may not survive. He may not survive that.
But Molyneux can do some work against Liverpool, City, and Newcastle though, and against Chelsea. And they're all home games.
They did it against City last season. Just saying.
Yeah. Molyneux can get a point or two here or there.
But you get into because that takes them to October 20th. You get into October, November, and you might have 6 points.
But here's the question,
9
though.
Points.
When you're predicting managers getting sacked, you always have to think about who's available, who can come in, and has that manager done enough to get some leeway time. Again, beyond belief. So I think that ride of last season will give him, to survive that spell. They know the spell. They knew about this schedule 2 months ago, right? So it's not going to become a surprise to them, right? So they do end up falling through. I think Wolves will probably stick with Gary for a little bit. He could get sacked.
Maybe. Also, they haven't backed him. They sold the 2 best players.
Exactly. So I feel like they're going to give him a bit of leeway.
But they also didn't. I mean, they didn't really do that. I mean, they finished 14th last season. It's not like they did anything great. They finished kind of where they were supposed to finish.
Mm-hmm.
But
it could be after those 8 games. If it goes bad, they could just want someone new in just to give a new lease.
Yeah, new manager balance definitely is.
It's a thing. Because I agree. I think they also realize how tough the games are. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. What about Russell Martin from Southampton?
The expectation's super low.
I think Nuno because I think Forrest doesn't need that Premier League money. They should sack him really early.
My second pick was Forrest for Nuno because
because I had them relegate in the relegation zone. Relegated, I felt like first 10 games he doesn't have decent amount of points. I might just sack him and get another manager bounce from someone else. Like
what will expedite that if we do well. If we have a decent,
you mean when
they look at it?
I mean when.
And they look at it and be like, okay, Steve Cooper's doing well. We have issues. So,
Bro,
Yeah,
if Steve Cooper's doing well, multiple teams have issues.
Hey,
I thought
Steve
that's all I'll
Cooper's
say.
doing
Bro.
well. I'm gonna lose my shit.
Jose, the last time you said there's a low expectation on a manager and I backed them to get fired, they got fired.
Did you say Arteta?
Different leagues, but still same thing almost.
Yeah.
So wait, everyone run through their final play. So I said Nuno.
I said Gary O'Neill. Max and I said Gary O'Neill.
Okay. Jose said Enzo.
Yeah, I said Maresca. AJ?
I said
I've got Thomas Frank.
Mohammed?
Great
I have
shout.
Lopetegui going. And the only reason I have that is because they're a talented squad and they will call Thomas Tuchel.
Plus with his
by
West Ham shout,
January.
underrated. That's it's in line. He's consistent at least, Mohammed.
That makes my surprise pick go through the roof, just saying. Davi?
It's either one of Ten Hag or Martin, but I'm gonna go with Martin. I think I'm gonna go Martin.
I don't think any of us will do it.
They're not gonna do it.
Like early.
Yeah.
Because like what are we saying? First manager gets sacked around
yeah.
October. Like October, November is usually
or,
when it happens.
Or if you're Frank de Boer after 4 games.
Frank de Boer is an absolute dog.
Was it
shit
4? I
manager.
swear it was like 7 or 8, wasn't it?
No, it was like a month, bro. It was like
the Boer
literally
was
a month.
4.
And then he
Boer
ruined
was
Atlanta,
4
but we
games.
don't need to talk about him.
Yeah.
But
sorry, AJ.
And Austin.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like I'm split on De Boer. This is not a De Boer podcast, so we
I
need
don't
to.
want to know about De Boer right now.
But yeah.
I think that,
Go ahead, man. Go
ahead.
Yeah. I mean, it's with Crystal Palace, that was just unprecedented. I think like that was unfair to him. But I think if it's Ten Hag, I mean that would be insane. That would just
be
not ever happen.
I don't think that would be. That wouldn't make any sense.
They have to have a candidate out on the market available that they want. There has to be a better option. Ineos will not move like that. They won't just find
Jose, I think that fits a lot for a lot of these teams as well. That's why I feel like my hot take would be that I don't think Thomas Frank or Gary O'Neill will be the first to be sacked because they've done so well with their team over the past year and a half or so, and plus the lack of option on the market. I feel like both Brentford and Wolves, respectively, will give them a bit of a leniency.
I think Chelsea will not. I think Chelsea will do what they always fucking do, and they'll rush it, and they'll be not going to take the result and move on to someone new.
Enzo getting sacked is guaranteed. I don't think he'll be first though.
I think it's
that's
because Thomas Tuchel's available. I think he's just sitting there waiting.
Running back. Imagine they sacked Tuchel.
Imagine, bro, they just to bring him back. It'd be fucking crazy.
They sacked Tuchel, 3 managers later, come back. Tuchel, we made a mistake.
They did it
with Mourinho, yeah, but
he wouldn't be the first. It's the Chelsea way. It is football heritage, as they say.
And it worked out. It worked out with Mourinho.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Anyone that we left out here before we wrap up the show? No? Everybody's hands up? Good to go? All right, man. Damn, hell of an episode. It was a beefy one. So first and foremost, if you stuck around with us to the very end, man, you're a fucking legend. Let us know down below how you feel about all of the takes, all the spicy ones. Mohammed came swinging into his first episode with us. I love it. Let us know in the comments down below. And of course, if you haven't done so already, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and keep an eye out on the Goals TV channel moving forward. Yanks of the Roundtable makes a comeback to this channel as a separate playlist. So like it for that reason. We're going to keep the weekly shows coming throughout the season. Probably some watch-alongs on the way too. So keep an eye out for that. All right. We'll keep it here from everybody here at Yanks of the Roundtable. My name's Jose. That's Austin. That's Hafid. That's Max. That's AJ. That's Mohammed. That's Davi. Catch you guys next time.